And we're here at Oregon State's Student Legacy Park. The Beavers are about to kick off for their first home league match of the season. I'm Wyatt Miller, and alongside me here is Amelia Shoemaker, who's on the women's rugby team.
The Beavers are facing off against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. This is the Bulldogs' second year in our league, so we've been kind of tracking their progress and see how it goes in the last couple months. So we're excited to see how they play together. For the Beavers, this is more than just their home opener. This is their chance to set the tone for the season and see what they're capable of.
Yeah, the Beavers are a strong team, and they're ready to make a statement. Last time we saw these two teams go head-to-head was January 27th, and we saw the Beavers come away with a 28-14 victory.
The Oregon State Beavers take on the Gonzaga Bulldogs coming up soon.
Outside channel, that's an interesting strategy, but it is paying off. Hadley saw that space, saw there was no one there, and wanted it. Really taking that inside edge and using her support on the outside. That is Chloe Posser, a rookie for this year, and she is going to take that right up the middle for a try. Pass that off to Kaylee Newcomer, and Kaylee is going to take that into the try zone. Beats on me, beats on me, 1, 2, 3, 3.
Today's starting lineup with the Beavers is Amanda Koopa at number 1, Ashley O'Tierney at 2, Kelsey Kaufman for 3, Garrett Hoekstra at 4, Andy Wessel at 5, Anna Scherer at 6, Eloise Fleschner at 7, Hadley Malak at 8, Kayla Stanley for 9, Helena Crispin for 10, Carolyn Pierce at 11, Maddie Mewson at 12. Our 13 is Kaylee Newcomer, 14 Emma Bowman, and 15 Cassie Valverde.
And our starting lineup for the Gonzaga Bulldogs is going to start off with Chloe at number 1, Jackie at number 2, Ursa at number 3, Jordan at number 4, Annika at number 5, Justice at number 6, Kaylee at number 7, Gray at number 8, Julia at number 9, Candler at number 10, May at number 11, and this is actually her debut game, Irina at number 12, Lindsay at number 13, Liv at number 14, and Coyle at number 15.
Yeah. We're going to send you over to our sideline reporter, Brady Elliott, who had the chance to talk to Coach Dave about today's matchup.
Thanks, guys. That's right. I had the chance to talk to Coach before the game. He mentioned a few key things for today's match. He mentioned to me that this year, the Beaver offense is restructuring their attack. They're focusing on moving the ball vertically rather than horizontally. Attacking vertically will allow the offense to open up the field as well as players to take lanes that open up. He also mentioned to me that he's excited for today's matchup specifically. This Gonzaga Bulldogs team is only in their second year, and they have a lot of returning players. He's interested to see what their attack line and midline does this year. I'm really excited for this matchup. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brady. Yeah, we're excited to see this game. Hopefully we can see some big hits, some big runs, and it's just a great day to play rugby.
Yeah, we're really hoping to see some direct lines, direct communication, kind of make sure that we're running straight and not drifting into our teammates' space and making gaps, hitting those gaps, and seeing how Gonzaga's improved since January with being such a new team.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're going to go to a quick break, but stay tuned and we'll be right back with kickoff. And we're back. This is going to be our A-side game, and we're excited to see it. We got both sides on the team, or both teams on the field, excuse me. Both teams on the field, and we're excited to see this start of a kickoff.
Yeah, we're kind of ready to see how these two match up since January and see how different it is, see what some similarities are, and see how our younger team is doing.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Gonzaga is going to start with the kickoff, so Oregon State will be receiving. We're going to see who on the field is going to receive that kick, 1, and 2, what they're going to do with that ball.
I'm hoping we run some straight lines, get it direct, be smart about the decisions, and kind of make sure we know where we're headed for this game and what our goals are.
Yeah.
I would honestly, on the field right now, we have our number 3, Kelsey, which is one of our captains, our number 10, Helena, who's another captain, and then our number 13, Kaylee Newcomer, is also our 3rd captain. Those are our 3 for this year, and honestly, it's Kelsey and Helena's senior year, so we're hoping.
Nice kick to the middle of the field.
Well.
Nice straight run up, lots of power behind that. Wow.
That is Eloise.
Beautiful run from Eloise. Running up this right side of the field now. Moving some big space. That was a beautiful fend right there.
That's Kaylee Newcomer.
Still going.
Emma staying up. Cassie's wrecking over her.
Believe the sir here has a call. Cannot tell what it is from here.
I think we're excited.
We're still kind of waiting to see what that call is going to end up being and what it looks like.
Ooh, it looks like we're going to see a scrum here.
All right, we got that scrum going. Our back line's getting some depth, getting ready to get the ball out quick.
Yeah, I believe this is, Gonzaga's ball, it looks like. So we're going to see if they can push that ball out the back of that scrum fast enough. Oh, beautiful push from Oregon State. Another call.
All right, we're probably gonna end up resetting it.
Believe
Doing a
so.
tap and go.
Oh, tap and go from Gonzaga. Ooh, okay.
Tap and go is kind of just, the ball has to just leave your hands at some point, hit your foot, and then you can grab it and the play starts pretty quick. Looks like they're gonna kick it to touch right now for a line out.
Yeah. Now, Amelia, what is a line out?
A line out is mainly, it's only the forward pack. We have a jumper, usually 2 lifters. It kind of depends on the team and kind of if they have any trick plays that they want to play. But it's basically that 2 lifters lift from each team, lift 1 person in the air, and the ball has to go straight down the middle of the channel, and whichever team grabs it out of the air, and it's their possession.
Yeah. All right. Let's see who's going to get this line out. I cannot tell whose ball it is. Oh,
Looks
Oregon
like
State's ball.
And that is Ash throwing it in right now.
We're going to see a jump here in a second, see what move they're going for. Just 1 jumper on that move, but they still get that ball and pass it to their backpack.
That is Garrett taking the ball into hard contact.
No maul was formed, but, you know, it's always a possibility. Ooh, beautiful plays from Gonzaga here. Going to be taken down by Oregon State. Possible jackal.
Oh, jackal by Kayla Stanley.
Now, jackals are very interesting because there's a very specific way you can do them. You cannot go around the downed player. You have to go over them. Otherwise, it is not a proper jackal.
Good run by Carolyn as well, getting out, pushing hard. And Helena's going to take it into contact.
Gonzaga now has possession. They're going to try and run that ball up with their number 12.
Ooh, Maddie with the
Going
big
down.
hit.
Some big hits happening.
Looks like it's going to be Gonzaga's scrum. We're waiting to see kind of what the Beavs are asking the sir about and see what happens. But it looks like it's still going to stay Gonzaga's scrum.
Yeah, I believe Oregon State's goal for this scrum is to not have what happened with the last scrum. So last scrum, even though Beavs did end up getting possession of that ball, it ended up being a turnover for some type of improper play. So I think Oregon State, hopefully this time, is going to be able to correct what they did, come away with that ball.
You got the up and close view of this scrum as well. It really shows you how all of them push together and stay linked to get that ball out quick and get it out to Kayla.
Yeah. Beautiful passes going on here. All right, and nice run up the field from, I cannot see that number right now, unfortunately.
That is Cassie. That was Cassie's run, our 15.
15's a hard position to play.
It is. 15 is a very scary position to play as well.
Yeah, so what is the 15?
So the 15 is the fullback. It's kind of like a safety in football. You're the last line of defense. If anyone breaks through your defensive line, it's up to you to get them down. It's basically, you're the only thing between them and scoring. And doesn't matter if it's a forward or a back, you're expected to have really good open field tackling skills and really be able to honestly hit anyone and catch up to anyone, no matter what.
Yeah, fullback's a difficult position. You have to be able to tackle really well and run really fast. Not to mention, kicking is very frequent with fullbacks.
Yes. Being able to kick well and place the ball in space and understand where you need to go and where they're leaving gaps, it's a lot.
It is. No matter how many times I played fullback, I never got good at kicking.
Kicking is definitely hit or miss.
It is. We'll see if there's any kicking in this game. We've got a scrum going on right now. Gonzaga's ball coming out of it. Going to be passing it to their 13, around to their 11, out to their 15.
Big hit by Carolyn, too.
Oh, they managed to pass that off, though.
And Helena Crispin.
Now, if I'm looking at these scrums, I'm looking and I'm seeing a person on the other side just pushing just to contest it. What is that for?
On the ruck or the scrum?
On the ruck.
On the ruck, if the defense ends up contesting the ruck, that's them basically trying to blow the offense off of the ruck so that they have a free lane to the ball. Because like you explained earlier, you can't come from the side. You got to go straight over the downed person. And basically, as you can see, Andy just kind of tried to do it there. If you can get them off that ruck and there's nothing between the ball and the sky, that's a free ball.
Yeah. Looks like it might have been a knock-on there. Knock-on is when the ball accidentally gets passed and put onto the ground forward. It is a turnover, and I believe Oregon State was able to pick that up really fast and just get it moved immediately.
Oh, Kaylee, stiff arm. Kaylee with the stiff arm and the pass out.
Pass out
right
to 15. This is a beautiful run.
This is it's going to end up coming to a line out. Cassie had an amazing run, though. Kaylee with a really good offload. She pinned that person perfectly, which pinning someone is basically running straight at them until they commit with their hips. Once their hips are turned, committed to you, you pop it out to your teammate and basically gives them a free lane.
Yeah, it's one of the first things you have to learn in rugby is whichever way your hips are facing, that's the way you're going to be going. Especially if you're playing on a wing. If your hips are not facing inside, you're not doing a good job. Nice tackles.
Tackle by Helena Crispin.
Ooh, it looks like it's going to be an Oregon State ball now.
So that is what we were just talking about with that rucking. If you get enough people to ruck and you get enough power, you can actually push them right over. And just like they did there, they turned the ball over, and the Beavs got the possession.
Yeah. Beavs are going to maintain this possession, trying to run it up the side of the field. Number 11 on the wing looks like she's nice and open.
Oh, and Kaylee with the fake.
Beautiful footwork.
Oh, and she's gonna go in for it. Kaylee Newcomer dove right in. That was beautiful. Add a little bit of pizzazz to the ending.
It's a really good feeling being able to dive into that try zone. And what you'll see in rugby, for those of us that are new, is that you actually have to touch the ball down into the try zone to score a point. It's not like football where you can just run into it. That ball has to touch the ground. Otherwise, it is not a point.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the newer things to learn that's kind of difficult is you can hold it up as well. So basically, if the defense can get under that ball before it hits the ground, it can be a 5-meter scrum. It can be a couple things can come out of it. But yeah, there's a few different ways to contest that.
Yeah, Oregon State's going to make that kick. And that should bring Oregon State up to 7 points.
And that was a beautiful run by Kaylee. She had a quick little dummy, which if people don't know what a dummy is, it's actually you kind of move the ball a little bit to one direction, hit the other, use your eyes to kind of fake out the defense. And she played it well. She timed it perfectly, and it worked in her favor.
Yeah, convincing dummy. Really convinced the defense that she was going to try and offload that ball.
And in 15s, after you score, you actually do get the ball back compared to 7s. So the Beavs are going to keep this possession even after they scored, which is different than a lot of sports.
We're going to see. It's going to go pretty much to the same point of field.
It's Elliott
nice
again.
run. Going to offload it to the right side of the field.
Kaylee just hit a dummy again.
Some contests for the ball there, but I believe it's going to be Gonzaga's ball at the end of the day.
Little forward pass and then a turnover, but it looks like we're going for a scrum to Gonzaga.
Now, is there a reason to run straight forward rather than sideways?
Yeah, honestly, in 15s, there's a lot of people on the field at once. There's not a lot of space. And if you run straight forward and you commit to running that line, even if it means you're running straight at someone, it actually helps your team, because otherwise if you just run horizontally and keep drifting, you're going to end up taking up about 4 people's space with you. And so it's really important that if you commit to running, you're running straight, you're running hard at someone, and we're always taught you pick a person and you almost pretty much try to hit them.
Beautiful pass to number 8. It's going to be a nice run up the sideline. Number
nice
15.
Offload to Cassie. Looks like Cassie's going to take it in.
Now, I'm seeing these people run towards the middle of the field. Is there a particular reason for that?
Yeah, so in rugby, wherever in the end goal, wherever it's scored is where the person who is kicking it right after has to kick from. They can choose however far back they want to kick from, but they basically have to take a line from where it was touched down to the ground, and that's the spot they have to kick from. So the closer you get to the middle, usually the easier it is for your kicker to score.
Yeah. We're going to see, who is that kicking, Amelia?
That is Kayla Stanley. That is our scrummy, our scrum half. She's our number 9. Scrum halves are the ones who pretty much get the ball out of rucks. They get the ball out of scrums, lineouts. They're kind of partially almost like the connection between the forwards and the backs. Them and then the 8-man, they're number 8, are kind of like the 2 connections between the 2 packs.
Yeah.
So she does a lot of communication work. Usually 9s can kick pretty well. They're shifty, they're scrappy. They know how to jackal really well because they're right next to the ruck pretty much all the time. And she's great at jackling.
Yeah.
She does a really good job. She knows the rules and is pretty successful.
This has been a pretty jackal-heavy match so far. I've actually never seen this much jackling this early in the game.
Yeah, we actually at practice we spent a lot of time jackling. We've worked on kicking techniques because we didn't have a lot of it last year. We kind of just played a very technically basic game, I guess, and this year we really wanted to step it up. We have a pretty young team that has a lot of talent, so we've learned a lot about jackling and kicking and kind of working the rules a little more.
Yeah, and that's a good way to do it too. If you can get that jackal, that's just more ball time for your team, and that's more scores.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, actually, our number 12, Maddie Mewson, this is actually her A-side debut game. She joined in the spring for 7 season, and so this is her first 15 season. Same with Ashley O'Tierney. They both joined last spring, so this is their 15s debut, I guess their first home opener for league. And so there are 2 right now that are new openers. It's a little nerve-wracking, but they're definitely ready for it. And I'm excited to see how the rest of this game goes. They've been playing really well already, and super excited to see how the rest of it goes.
Yeah, your first time on that field feels a lot like your first time in a new school. It's nerve-wracking, but it's exciting at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely, that first game of rugby is a little bit like like a chicken running with its head cut off. It's a little bit of you're gonna figure it out, and you're kind of just, you figure it out, you get to it, but.
Yeah, it's almost like learning a new language.
Yeah.
Ooh.
A little bit of a
forward pass, it looks like.
A little bit of a basketball throw there. Had the right idea, though. I mean, that offload, Kaylee had 2 people supporting on the side, Carolyn.
We're going to see another scrum close to the cameras here, hopefully. It's going to be Gonzaga possession, and we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, the Beavers forward pack is pretty dominant this year. We've worked a lot on our forwards and kind of working through some started tweaking some stuff, and I know they work a lot on scrums and kind of different ways that they can get the ball back. And it looks like we actually are going to get the ball from it.
It's a lot of muscle in there.
Kayla's got the pick and go.
I believe there was a hair grab in there.
Yeah, I got the hair grab and also grabbing the top of the jersey.
Yeah, so is there tackling limits in this game?
Yeah, so actually last year, my freshman year, so 2 years ago, it used to just be neck down. you could hit anywhere neck down pretty much. As long as you're not grabbing the neck or the head, it was legal. But last year, due to a fair amount of safety regulations, they moved it to sternum and down. And a lot of most SIRs take that pretty seriously and even try to get it below the sternum just because no one needs to be getting hit that high up. It's a huge safety issue. But in that last play, it looked like it was pretty close to the neck, grabbing a little bit of the hair and like top of the jersey, which is why the SIR kind of stopped it before it got too bad. But
Now, I don't believe jersey grabbing is illegal, but it's when it's above that sternum is when it's not necessarily the best.
yeah, you can pretty much grab shorts, you can grab jerseys, you can grab almost anything as long as it's not in that upper area that's endangering someone. But yeah, if you can grab a jersey and hold on for 10 meters, you're completely allowed to do so.
Looks like Oregon State's going to have a tap and go here from our 9. Oh, going for a kick, potentially for a close to try-line line-out.
Yeah, kick to touch from Kayla. So we'll go for another line out. And Ashley O'Tierney is the other one who joined in sevens that I was just talking about with Maddie Newson. And she is the number 2 right now, the one throwing it in. So both of them, this is their debut game.
Now that throw is looks deceptively easy, but it is not an easy throw to do, I can confirm. It's ideally you want to get a perfect spiral on that, similar to throwing a football, but a rugby ball is much larger than a football. And now what is this that we're seeing right here, Amelia?
So this is a maul, and Kayla's actually going to go in and use it. But a maul is basically, it's the forward packs, usually out of a line out most commonly, and it's basically the ball comes down and immediately both forward packs are on either side pushing against each other, and the ball actually gets moved. In this case, Hadley is the one catching it, but the ball actually gets moved to the back. So it moves through about 2 to 3 layers of our forward pack and then comes out, and either the 9 can grab it, a forward can grab it, and it's basically a way to hide the ball a little bit while getting closer to the end goal.
Yeah. Is someone on the other team allowed to run around that pack and grab that ball behind them, or no?
Once the ball is out of the maul, it's kind of inaccessible if it's still in it because you can't even see the ball. But once the ball is out and in a different position's hands and like out of the actual system, you can hit that person. You can't actually, in rugby, you can't swat a ball out of the air. Technically, that's a knock-on or intentional knock. You would have to catch it midair. So it's kind of situational, but there's a few rules around it.
Yeah. It's a very interesting thing, especially terrifying to be in the middle of, I can tell you that.
Yes. Yeah. No, not a fun place to be. It's a lot of pressure coming from both sides, but
yeah,
they do it well.
And while we're waiting for this next bit here, we're going to go ahead and announce we have our men's rugby game going on in Colorado right now. They're at their current playoffs game in Colorado, I believe.
Yeah,
and Denver, Colorado is their championship.
Mm-hmm. They play today as well.
Ooh, beautiful run. Ooh.
And it looks like it's going to be that turnover to their 12. A little bit of a jumble right there.
Yeah, beautifully physical match this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of tackling, lots of pulling. Lots of people are able to get their emotions out on the field.
All right, and we're going to do a scrum. Got another scrum coming up pretty close to us, actually, which is super fun to see as always. It's really interesting to see close up and be able to actually see the force that goes behind these scrums and how much weight they're actually pushing.
It's an astounding amount. You can go online, you can find videos of like world champion rugby teams pushing and beating F1 cars.
Oh, yeah.
It's scary how much force there is in these.
The amount of force that can just be accumulated from something like this in just a game is insane. It's really impressive, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you have to keep in mind that these players are pushing and then going back to running right after.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of the, like the front line, the props and the hooker, they are bound up in that thing with all of this force behind them and in front of them, and then they have to come out and immediately start sprinting. Mm-hmm. And that takes so much power and so much endurance. And it's so impressive.
Yeah, and this isn't football. You can't just get subbed out the second it's no longer your turn. You're in there for game.
Yes, and with A-side matches, they actually only get a limited number of subs. And honestly, our team really only uses probably 4. And it usually happens either at halftime or a little bit after. But yeah, it's 80 minutes of straight endurance. And so we're going to do another line out.
So compared to how we're seeing today, how was Gonzaga performing last year?
Last year, honestly, it was not even, it was still a very good performance, and we were still very impressed for being a first-year team. I mean, it takes a lot to get an entire, 15 people plus subs is a lot of people to organize very quickly. And honestly, you can tell this year they look a lot more gelled. They look well gelled together, and like they're playing a lot better together as more of a team. And they just seem kind of more confident in themselves, and that they're getting more organized. And honestly, it's definitely a positive since January, and there's going to be a good competition in our league.
Yeah, I mean, organizing a rugby team is not an easy feat. It takes years and years for a rugby team to, one, organize, and two, like, become better at the game. It takes a lot of years, it takes a lot of practice, good coaching, good referees. You know, a lot of different components come into this. So it's amazing that they've been able to put this together in just 2 years.
Yeah, it really is. And honestly, the fact that they have such big numbers as well, too. I mean, rugby hasn't been very popular, especially on the women's side, since the last couple of years. I mean, and I'm honestly very impressed with the fact that they have the numbers that they do and that they're able to play. And we're super excited that they are able to play and that they were able to join our league, because, I mean, it's more competition for everyone. And honestly, it's really nice to just meet other people who play rugby and kind of be able to get closer with teams in our league.
Yeah. Now, if you look in the rucks, you're going to see if a person on the other team gets trapped in there, they tend to lie flat and then on their backs, put their arms up and legs out. Why is that, Amelia?
So in rucks, it's kind of, as we talked about earlier, you can't come out like and hit from the side. You have to go over. It's also kind of called a channel. So the person who got tackled, their body becomes the gate, basically. It's the gate that the opposing team has to go over to get to the ball. So in practice, you kind of learn, when you first start, you learn to get as small as possible. That's why you kind of see them folded in half, almost touching their toes. Or you'll see them flipped over on their stomach like a pencil. That makes the gate longer. It makes it harder to get over, and it makes it so that the ruck is as thin as possible so not as many people can join it. But it's basically just a tactic to make the ball harder to get and keep the possession for longer.
Yeah. I think we're going to see some Oregon State possession here, running up the right side of the field to number, I can't read that number out here. 6?
15.
15. I lied. It's all right, folks. I can't see. Going to try and push this ball up. Now, that's another tactic you can really use. Is if you get that ball in the front, you can just get as many people as you want behind it and just try and push that into the try zone.
Yeah, you can use forward crashes, especially this close to the line. Forwards have pods, and so it's usually 2 or 3 of them in a pod. You get the ball to them quickly, and they can do tip-ons to each other, which is just a quick little pass before they're tackled or after they're wrapped up. And it's really nice to have it this close to the line, because if you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, chances are you'll gain the ground. Yeah,
we got a nice channel out here. And there we go. That's going to be another try for Oregon State.
That is Cassie again, the 15. Looks like she was in a 2-on-1 situation with Carol in the wing, and honestly, she split the defender well and made sure that she still had Carolyn on the side and ended up being able to keep it.
Yeah. Now, 2-on-1 situations are something you can train for, but even then, it's just not it's not an easy situation to be in. You have to choose, who you want to go after, and then even then they might offload the ball. You got to be quick enough on your feet to go after that ball too. It's not a good situation to be in.
No, definitely. If you're the defender, it's a frustrating spot to be in, and also it's just hard because if they have the room, they can split you pretty easily. And if you pick one, chances are it's going to the other one. But
Now, Oregon State missed that kick, but that should still be 5 points for that try.
it looks like the Beavs are coming off on a strong start, very powerful. I know one of their goals at the start of this was to come out strong and play it like everyone else and really be able to show the talent and see the talent that Gonzaga has, and I think it's been going really well.
Yeah, and coming out that gate strong is really important in rugby because confidence is key. If you're not feeling very confident going into those runs, you're going to slow down before that tackle. You're going to, curl up a little bit before that tackle. You're not going to get as much distance and as much power behind that.
Yeah, one of the biggest things in tackling in rugby is keeping your leg drive, because honestly, if you don't keep your leg drive, you're either going to get run over or it's just not going to be a completed tackle.
Nice grab and go on the sideline here.
With that stiff arm, too. Keusey Kaufman.
I believe that ball went out of bounds. There should be a line out that we're seeing here soon.
Yeah, we get to see a line out kind of up and personal, pretty close to us.
Yeah.
You'll see how high they actually get up there, and I mean, usually the jumpers are pretty tall and can get pretty up there. Straight to Andy, too.
Now, there's no rule in rugby that dictates that you have to go down when someone touches you. If you can keep running with those 3 people on you, you're going to be able to keep running.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty much you either get your feet taken out or they get taken out.
That might have been a ball to the face there, but it happens. It happens from time to time. That's
happens.
okay. We're going to see a beautiful run here. Kicking it up the field. That was a beautiful chip.
And those are actually some of the kicks that we've been practicing. Especially Kaylee has been working a lot on the grubbers, and those grubber kicks are super useful when you kind of got a teammate right up coming up on you. If you can just grubber it and get it to spin correctly, it's actually like a forward spin, and it pops right up on that second bounce. And usually you can grab it, and you can tell that Kaylee was successful in that, our number 13.
Yeah, it's, again, something you need to practice a lot. Looks deceptively easy, but it is not. Yep. Everything in rugby comes with a lot of practice.
Grubbers are definitely, in my opinion, one of the hardest kicks to get it to bounce correctly, especially if it's muddy or anything. But
yeah, we are fortunate enough here at Student Legacy Park to have a turf field, but rugby is traditionally played on just a normal grass field, especially here in Oregon. We can get lots of mud.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see a kick from Oregon State here. If they can make this kick, it'll be 7 points for this try. Going straight through, that'll be 7 extra points, bringing the Beavers up to 29.
That was Kayla Stanley again. We actually have, on Oregon State at least, we have a lot of players who used to play soccer. So we're fortunate enough that a fair amount of them can kick it if need be. We got a few people, and Kayla is obviously one of them, as she's nailed most of the kicks today.
Yeah. It's been beautiful to see this fast gameplay from Oregon State. We're going to see if they can keep it up. Should be a full 80-minute match. Now, I don't know how far into this match we are, but starting off with 29 points already is doing phenomenal.
Looks like we're about 30 minutes into this match, which means we got about 10 more minutes until halftime. Looks like the ball's actually going to the backs, which normally on kickoff it goes to the forwards, but
there we go. And you're going to see that person go down. And you're going to see the first person that gets to that down player, they're going to do what's called a clear. You're going to just run over them, try and get all the enemy players that are opposing them just out of the way. And then the second person that gets there is going to try and do what's called a, I don't know what you guys call it, but we usually call it a lock. Or
yeah, usually it's, honestly, whatever it is, but.
Yeah, but either way, you want to have someone there that's able to hold down that position in case it's going to continue to be opposed.
And as you can kind of see with Gonzaga's 15 right there, their fullback, she came up as the last line of defense when our 15 kind of broke the line, and that is the one job of the 15 is make sure that if someone breaks the line and there's no one else that you get it, and she did a great job stopping the Beavs from getting that line through.
Yeah, the other hard part about 15 is that because you're kind of just dead center in the back, when you're on offense, you are really just moving to any side of the field you are needed. So it's a lot of cardio and a lot of decision making. You have to know where you need to be at all times.
Yeah. One of the big things in rugby, too, is defensive lines are flat. As you guys can kind of see, the 15s usually hang back and the wings do what they call a pendulum, which kind of just depends on what side of the ball is on. But rugby's defense is a flat line. You're basically trying to be a brick wall. If one person shoots up too quickly, it leaves a gap that can be exploited. And so it's a lot of teamwork, a lot of talking, a lot of making sure you know where the offsides line is. And, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to see here tap and go from Oregon State Beavers. Start of a run. Ooh. Now that was a beautiful run on. What the goal in rugby really is if you can get someone that's already running, then they already have momentum. If you can offload that ball to them, they're just going to keep that momentum, and it makes it even harder to tackle them.
Yeah, and that is Coop. Coop is probably one of our strongest forward momentum players. Very, very scary to hit, very scary to be hit by, but it's super impressive, and I am glad that they are on our side.
Yes. Yeah, being a forward takes a lot of bravery. I've always been a back, but I mean, I've tried to tackle forwards and I've been tackled by forwards, and I can tell you now, it's not the. I'm glad I didn't see my face in that situation. It was not a pretty sight.
Yeah, I was the same. I was a back, and I was actually a fullback. And for a while, it was anytime a forward broke the line, it was just kind of being like, all right, well, whatever happens, happens.
Well, this is not up to me anymore.
Nope. If I get them down, I get them down. If they run over me, good for them. But
yeah, it's kind of a fascinating situation, especially when it's a larger player. You kind of just, don't even know how you got there, but all of a sudden, you and the other player are on the ground. And number 11 going up the side of the field here.
Carolyn just made a miss. Oh, back and forth, back and forth.
Beautiful run.
And that was another one of those kind of quick passes out to space that we were talking about that they had their goal of. Kaylee got it out quickly to Carolyn, and just Carolyn hit the gas and just made a girl miss, made another one, and was gone.
We're going to see another kick here from Oregon State. And like you were saying earlier, now this one's going to be kind of more dead center because Carolyn was able to get that ball more dead center in that try zone.
Yeah, definitely makes it easier when it's super windy as well. You don't really have to worry too much about angles and where the balls might go.
Winds can affect these balls a lot.
Yeah, there's been a few games where on lineouts, you'll throw it straight and you'll just watch the ball go to one side. And it's one of the rules is it has to go down the middle of the channel, and if it doesn't, you redo the line out, and sometimes with the wind it's just not a possibility, honestly.
Yeah, I know that up in Bellingham especially, they have a lot of high winds. Having games up there is interesting because you'll even kick that ball with as much power as you have and it'll end up going behind you. It's just it's a hard thing to work with, especially when you really need that ball to go back down that field. You're really relying on that extra space and you just cannot get it.
It's especially if you're against the wind too. You can't get it anywhere. But and that, actually, we talked about knock-ons. If it hits your hand and go forward, it's a knock. But Eloise ended up, you're taught to turn backward, to turn to the side when you're going to catch it because of that reason. It hit her hands, but it went backwards, so it wasn't technically a knock-on. So it's kind of one of the things that she nailed.
Yeah. It's a smart thing to do, especially. And, you kind of want to have a cradle in your arms for that ball to land in, but I will tell you that the rugby ball wants to do anything but cooperate.
Pretty much.
It's got a mind of its own, and it doesn't like you very much. Although the ball might be liking our Oregon State women's team because we are doing phenomenal today.
We are. Moving the ball quickly, getting it out to space. We're using our players, using the diversity. Doing a really great job.
Yeah, beautiful fends from Oregon State. And Gonzaga's got a great defense, but at the end of the day, it's just so much overwhelming power.
I know with the back specifically this year, we've been focusing a lot on making sure that you take about one step and you make the decision about whether or not you're going to run or pass it off. And it's been a lot of direct communication so that everyone knows where they're at all times. You know who's on your left, you know who's on their right. You can use different phrases to tell them where you're at. And honestly, I can see a lot of improvement, especially in this game, about being able to see that they all are pretty aware and like using their space well and using each other well.
Yeah, we're going to see what looks to be either offsides or a knock on there. What is offsides, Amelia?
Offsides can be a few different things, but about one of the most common things, at least in our league that I've seen, is when there's a ruck formed, the offsides begins at so the players that are in the ruck, if you are touching someone that is involved in the ruck, you are technically a part of the ruck. And offsides would be the last player's back foot. So if you step past that back foot, you're offsides. So if the ruck is 3 players long, you have to be at that third player's back foot. But that's kind of one of the ways there's offsides with kicking as well. You have to be on the kicker's back foot. But it kind of just depends on the situation.
Yeah, kicking can be interesting, especially because of that offsides. You have to kick it and you have to chase it oftentimes if you're a fullback because, you know, you're already behind the rest of your team. So you got to really catch up with that ball to make sure you put the rest of your team on side so they can grab that ball for you.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, with kicking, whoever kicks it has to run up with it because anyone that was in front of the kicker at the time of it is technically offsides and has to run backwards before they're behind the kicker and then run back forwards again. So you want to make that a little easier on your teammates by running up with your kick.
41-0, Beavers are up. This is looking to turn out to be a beautiful game for us. So, Amelia, what do you think Gonzaga could be doing to kind of improve their odds here?
Honestly, I would say with their backline defense at least, their forwards are strong. Their forwards are tough. They've been hitting pretty hard, and they've been covering rucks pretty well for the most part. There's been a few that they've missed, but that always usually happens. I would say with their backs, though, making sure they don't get sucked in, because you can kind of tell their backs get sucked into the action a little bit. And
kind of what we're seeing here, actually.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of people running towards that ball, but you need to keep all sides of the field defended. Otherwise, you're just going to end up having someone make a breakthrough.
Exactly, and that actually just happened right there. Keely had a nice run and had Carolyn as kind of an assist player on the back, but Gonzaga just kind of needs to make sure they keep their space and watch hips because, like we said earlier, your hips kind of determine where you're going in this game and not really fall for some of those dummies or those kicks or whatever's kind of going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of trust in your teammates to, you know, if that player does offload that ball, you have to trust in your teammate to be there to defend the player they're offloading it to.
Yeah. I think a lot of communication could also help with, like, calling who has what and making sure that you're very clear about who you have and making sure that there's someone with you to make sure that if you go down, you're good.
Yeah. It's also, having been in that situation, it's a lot of faith in your team to not step on you when you're down on that ground because it feels like they will a lot of the times. And everyone's wearing cleats on this field, so it's not a fun sight to see someone stepped on either. Nice takeaway from Oregon State. Number 8 going to move it up the field. Might be a forward pass by accident.
Yeah, a little bit of a forward there on the way down, but it's okay. It's just going to be most likely a scrum. Yep. Also, kind of a cool thing about rugby with specific penalties, the captains of the team that's getting the ball back can actually decide if they want to do a scrum or a line out. So you can kind of pick based on your forward pack, see what they're doing well with that day, and kind of go from there.
Yeah. Especially dependent on the place or like where you are in the field. I mean, if you're closer to the try zone, you might want to do line out so you can form a maul or something like that. But, you know, typically you don't want to have a maul going for the entire length of the field. That's just a lot of work that you don't want to be putting in.
Yeah, exactly. I can get it at half. Looks like Kaylee had a nice kind of open field tackle there, which is also very important as a back. Is to be able to open field tackle because usually backs are pretty shifty. They usually know how to play space pretty well, and if you can counteract that, you're golden.
Gonzaga's going to be moving the ball down the field, or across the field, I should say. Now, if you rewatch that, you'll see that instead of tackling, Oregon State actually pushed her to the ground. Why is that, Amelia?
technically in rugby, if you wrap someone, you have to go down with them. But you can also tackle assist, which is grabbing a jersey and pushing him to the ground. It kind of depends on what you're doing, kind of where you're at and what's going on, but that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from my perspective, it looked like she got Hulk smashed, unfortunately. But
unfortunately, it does happen.
Nice. Ooh, almost an open field tackle there. We're going to see if we can get some nice other tackles here. Grabbing the arms is a smart move there. Can you kind of prevent her from offloading that ball? And is Oregon State going to be able to jackal that ball? It looks like we might.
That is actually a tackle technique, is the smother tackle. If you don't want someone to offload the ball, you can wrap right around their arms so they don't even have the option. And so that was a very smart play, but that was also a very good run by Gonzaga. Kind of broke the line, got through the 15. All right, so this is one of those penalties that the defense actually has to get back 10 meters. Right into the tripod.
Yeah, we're going to hope that tripod does not fall over. It's a pretty tall one, and we've got some relatively expensive camera equipment on that we'd prefer to not lose. But
yeah.
And that looks like it would bring us to halftime. Halftime score would be 41 for the Beavers, 0 for Gonzaga. Yeah, so we're going to go to a break really quick, but make sure you don't go anywhere because we'll be back with the second half of this. And then after that, we still have the B-side match. Be right back.
It sounds like this.
A dance for DJ, can you turn me up? Everybody in the club, go and put your hands up.
And we're back. This is going to be the second half of the A-side, Beavers versus Gonzaga game. And it looks like we're going to be switching sides. That's normally what happens, I hope.
I would hope so.
I would hope so. It's all right, but we're going to get into it here in a bit. Just going to see the starting 15 on both teams kind of come out to the field here, get set up, get warmed up, get in the right headspace, and then hopefully we'll see a nice kickoff.
Yeah, nice kickoff. Hopefully we'll see some big hits, some big runs.
I'm excited.
See some players try some new things.
Yeah.
Love to see a few more kicks, some clearance kicks, which
I think we're going to be seeing a lot of everything. That was a very eventful first half.
Yeah, it was. Pretty
excited
high
to
scoring
see.
first half as well.
Oh, yeah. 41-0 in the first half is an incredible score.
It is.
You know, Beavers have got to be coming out onto this field extremely confident seeing that.
Oh, yeah. All right, and we'll see Gonzaga's now coming out as well. We're getting ready.
Yeah, Gonzaga looks pretty confident. We'll see how that turns out.
Alina's doing some jumping, maybe warm up the ankles.
Ooh, yeah, definitely want to warm up your ankles for rugby. I've seen a lot of people just not be able to walk very well afterwards.
It's weird because you really only feel the game like when you're getting ready for bed that night.
Yeah.
Like the adrenaline really covers it for a good few hours, and then you get in bed that night and it's just, then you wake up the next morning and you feel every single hit.
I think I tended to find that the shower after the game is really when everything started to sit in, especially when I had like turf burn, anything like that.
Hot water and turf burn never mixes well.
Oh, I don't think anything in turf burn mixes well, honestly.
No, you feel every single blade. Oh, and Coop may have been. Oh,
Gonna
took
see
out
a
a
few
prop
missed
with her.
tackles here, but then we finally get her down. High tackle, it looks like.
And
Gonna be a tap and go for Gonzaga. Oh,
Gonzaga should be back 10 as well.
There we go. So it's going to be Oregon State's ball now. Offload there. Nice strong run into the really got to hold onto that ball tight because if someone steals it from you, that's their ball then.
Keusey, the one carrying the ball right now, is also
straight up holding her up there.
very scary to hit or be hit by, actually.
Interesting looking ruck there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always the most optimal of conditions in there, but you make do with what you got.
Sometimes you end up, there's been a few times where in rucks you actually have to keep your feet. It's one of the rules. You have to stay on your feet and be able to basically stand up straight without leaning on your hands. And there's been a few pictures that we've seen where people's feet are off the ground and they're basically doing like kind of a half handstand almost.
Yeah, no,
something.
I don't know a whole lot of people that do rugby and gymnastics at the same time. That'd be an interesting sport. I'd love to see that, actually.
Oh, I'd watch it.
I think it would be very accident-prone. Nice breakthrough for Oregon State here. Going to make it to that try line? Yes, we are.
There it is. And that is actually Anna. Her nickname is Q for our team. But
is there a reason for that? Because I don't think there's a letter Q in the name Anna.
There is a reason for that. I feel like the reason might be for another time.
You know, fair enough.
But Anna is actually one of our grad students, and they are here on their first year. They did play at U of O, actually.
Oh.
And then they came here for grad school, and we actually have multiple grad students, but this is also Q's first home opener league game, as well as Emma, if she is still on the field. But
now, how competitive is that rivalry between Oregon State and U of O for the women's rugby team?
Oh, it's pretty substantial. This year, we actually played UO last weekend in Eugene. It's usually a pretty contact-heavy, little bit of a violent game. There's some hatred there.
Oh, there is. I mean, even for the men's team, there's...
Yeah, that social after is pretty. For you who don't know, in rugby, like part of the rugby culture is socialing with the other team after the game. And it's like a chance to get to know them, and usually it's pretty fun. The UO socials are pretty awkward.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, for a lot of teams, it can be pretty easy. You know, you tackle someone really heavy at the game, they'll come up to you at the social, be like, you know, nice tackle, that was well done, it was a good game. But especially for those rivalry games, it's a lot less of a, oh, nice tackle, and it's a lot more of a, there's not going to be a next time.
It's like personal.
It is
personal.
very personal.
Yeah, I will say this past weekend, it was probably the cleanest game I've ever seen been played against UO.
Really?
Since I've been in college. But I know a lot of the teams this year have changed a fair amount with people graduating and everything. But yeah, that rivalry is strong. It's always Hadley got a little laid out by their 9 actually. Their scrummy did a little bit of a 180
Gonzaga's
in the air.
defense is doing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Keeping the pressure on. That's really important for defense.
And got absolutely run over.
Yeah. Again, there's no rule against, like, oh, when someone tackles you, you have to go down. If you could stay up, I recommend it. And you'll see that a lot for these games. You'll see larger forwards just have 4 or 5 people dragging off them, and they'll keep going if they can.
Oh, yeah. And if you can time a shoulder correctly, you drop that shoulder at the right time, you'll see them bounce. Like, you will see them bounce.
I've seen people get sent off of a shoulder. It's
yeah.
Not a fun experience, you know.
Not fun to be that person.
No.
A little funny to watch.
It's very funny to watch,
not
but
fun to be that person.
You know, being that person, you blink and you're all of a sudden 10 feet away from where you were on the ground, looking up at the sky. You're like, I don't know how I got here.
Yeah.
But there we go. Yeah, see right there, 3 people to stop 1 person's a pretty good ratio.
Oh yeah, it's especially interesting to watch when a forward, like usually like a prop, hits any of, like, honestly the back 3, the wings or the fullback, because the size difference is usually pretty substantial.
Oh yeah. Well, you want those wings in.
Oh, Kaylee! And look at that. She caught that chip kick, bobbled it a little bit, but held onto it and dove right. That was amazing.
That was a beautiful play.
That chip kick was amazing. I know Helena's been practicing that a lot at practice, getting it up and over those centers, and Kaylee was just in the right position. That kick was timed, and that was beautiful.
Yeah, that's something that's hard to see. You know, it takes a lot of practice to be able to do that, and oftentimes you don't want to try because if you mess it up, that could be a loss on your team. But
oh yeah.
The confidence was there, the skill was there, and it was beautifully executed.
Oh yeah. That was and we'll actually hear from Helena after this game, and I'll be able to bring that up.
Yeah. I can't imagine she'd be upset about bringing that one up.
Oh, no. No, definitely not.
It's not like a repressed memory. I think I'd imagine she's pretty happy with that one.
She's pretty happy. Yeah, usually.
Now
anyone-
Gonzaga.
Yeah, maybe we keep that one on the hush hush. But
All right. Score is going to be moving up again, going from 48-0 up to. I'm waiting for them to put those numbers up so I don't say the wrong number, guys. I'm not going to lie. Up to 50.
It's either going to be 50 or 55.
55.
We got math. We
Yeah.
can do that.
No, you'd think I'd be able to do that, but you know, it's my day off.
It's you know what? It's a Saturday. Saturday is a rugby day.
And it's turning out to be a beautiful Saturday too. The clouds are going away. I haven't seen the sun here in weeks, frankly.
Yeah. I walked out of my apartment yesterday, saw the sun for the first time, and I felt like a plant. It was
I
great.
photosynthesized for a bit.
I did. I stood on my deck and I was like, oh wow. Okay, I can feel the color coming back to my skin.
Yeah. You know, I tell you, winter term here is rough.
Winter term is a new beast.
Beautiful hits.
Oh, and Coop absolutely flattened their three.
And that's kind of the hard part is if you don't wrap those legs, then that's what's going to happen right there.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to get run over.
It's the same thing with what I was talking about with leg drive. You don't keep that leg drive, and you're
Oh, yeah.
losing
No,
every
you can't
time.
you can't just plant your feet. You're going to get run over. You got to run onto them,
Oh yeah,
which, you know, kind of goes against everything that your brain is telling you.
pretty much.
You're running towards a person twice your size. Your brain's like, hey, maybe we don't. And you just kind of have to override it and go, no, we do.
Yeah. Pretty much the entire sport of rugby, I have learned, is a lot of shutting off your brain's safety mechanisms.
It really is.
It's-
And whether or not that has to do with the ratio of concussions in rugby, that's not for me to speak on.
You know, we ignore that. We
Yeah.
play for the fun of the game,
We
and
do.
you know what? We take the consequences when we get them.
Yeah, well, you know, enough concussions, maybe we'll come back around. I know I'm on my third.
Yeah, I think I'm on my maybe.
You know, I think it's bad that you've started to forget
All
how many
right.
you're at.
All right, we're just gonna blow past that. Head injuries are serious. Don't get me wrong, but
They are, but, you know, we're going to see some interesting runs here. Nice offload.
I will say one thing. I've seen Gonzaga try a little more, but could get a little more of is getting depth. Having
Yes,
depth in the
yes.
back line is huge. It gives your team a lot more space, a lot more time, and if you're flat, you're kind of just running into a wall after running into a wall after running into a wall.
Yeah.
So
And with that depth, you can get more momentum when you're running onto that ball. Get more
Yes.
power when you go for that hit.
yeah, give you more time to make a decision and all of that. But
It's kind of hard to tell what's going on amongst this wall of flesh that we're watching here, but it seems that Gonzaga still has possession of that ball.
I think so, yeah.
And is Gonzaga going to be able to score their first try here? It looks like they're going for some good pushes here. If they could spread out, maybe offload that ball out.
There it is.
And there it is.
Gonzaga's first try. Oh, someone's mouth guard just went flying. That's
You know,
going to be
that
gross
happens
later.
too. It's not recommended to play without a mouth guard, but you
Yeah,
know,
you know, having to wash turf out of your mouth guard is
it's really not fun.
no. And you always forget a piece, then you end up eating turf, and not a good. Especially because the turf here is cork, actually, at SLP. It's not the black
Oh,
turf.
that's interesting.
And so your base, it kind of just tastes like you're eating a cork.
Yeah,
Just chewing
it's not
on wood.
not a fun experience to chew cork. Don't recommend it. Then again, I don't recommend, you know, biting your tongue off from being tackled, but
True.
to each their own.
You know, keep your teeth, keep your jaw.
Hopefully.
You know, keep your head safe-ish as much as you can in the game of rugby. But
Yeah, I mean, you'll see that some people have some protective headgear. Those are called scrum caps. Whether they do anything, that's up to user interpretation, really.
yeah, I think their main purpose is pretty much just preventing cauliflower ear for the forwards.
It really is.
Some people use them as like, you know, a mental piece to it, which totally fair. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot of science behind head protection with a scrum cap. But they look a little funny.
They do, but, you know, to each their own.
To each their own.
I've seen some people look good with them, but I can't see the players on this field well enough to just dictate whether they've got that stuff on or not.
Yeah, I will say our three on our team right now that are wearing them are Hadley, Andy, and Garrett. Hadley and Andy are built very similarly, and they're actually Andy is actually Kool-Aid Man, And Garrett's nickname is Kool-Aid Boy, and you can't tell them apart. And when their scrum caps are on, I actually cannot tell them apart.
Yeah. And I mean, every once in a while you'll see a player that has a unique scrum cap, but it gets even worse if like another player wants to borrow that scrum cap, because then you're just referring to like, oh hey, what's up, Andrew? And it's not Andrew.
No, not even close. All right, and this is kind of what we were talking about with the depth in the back line. You can see the Beavs back line is pretty much going across the entire field with depth. And that's a huge thing that Dave tries to really harp on, is getting depth
nice
and
tackle
making time. There. Oh, and they might jackal it here.
Gonzaga's going to keep possession of that ball, but there's a lot of contests here.
And Lizzie. It's okay.
Though.
It went
Still
backwards.
In possession of Oregon State.
We're
Gonna
good.
Offload it towards the wing.
You got help?
Oh, it's okay.
We're fine.
Is this going to be a jackal here?
I don't know.
I believe it will.
I know they cleared it a little bit.
No.
And it's going to be the change of possession-ish. And that's Callie. She is also another one of our grad students. It's also her first year here. She is also a unit that is still just big hits, all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Callie actually used to play field hockey and was a goalie.
Ooh. Yeah, we have a few of those players, or at least one of those players on the men's rugby team. Brody used to be a bruiser in ice hockey, and let me tell you, it shows on the field.
Oh, yeah, you can tell. It's always really funny, too, to be able to tell what sports people played before, because at least with our team, most of us never played rugby before college. And so it's always interesting to, like, be able to tell what they did play, and who's done contact and who hasn't. But
yeah. Now, both of us haven't played rugby. I don't know about you, but I know me personally, the sir is always in the way.
oh, always. Like, love them to death, and honestly, they do a great job.
No, and they're trying their absolute best to do an even job, and it's a hard job for sure, but, I mean, come on. I just did a pick off of a ruck, and I look up, and you're just standing there, not even bothering moving. Like, you know, maybe take a few steps.
Yeah, it's kind of how are the Sirs hitting us more than the other team, honestly? Looks like, all right, so Gonzaga's going to have to get back 10 here on a penalty.
Yeah, and if they don't get that back fast enough, it's just another penalty, so it's really important to hustle there. It looks like it's going to be a try for Oregon State.
And there it is, Kayla, actually. If you're not back 10 and the play starts, you have to just sprint back 10. Otherwise, you will just allow the other team to gain ground and gain yardage. And honestly, Kayla played that perfectly by kind of exploiting it because they weren't running back.
Yeah. That's a really important thing for coaches to drill into your head is you got to hustle. In rugby, there's no time for delay. The clock is always running, and you got to be aware of that, and you got to move quickly.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to casually walk that off.
And it's through again.
Yeah.
So that score is going to end up going up to 62-7.
Wow. That's quite the score. Now, I don't have money on this game, but if I did,
Yep.
I think we know where my money is.
I think
Always bet on orange.
always bet on orange and black, unless it's football.
Oh, well, you know, why are we betting on football? Realistically, we go to Oregon State.
Realistically, it's not good
Realistically, put me in, coach. Come on.
Realistically, I feel like,
I've seen our defensive line. I could do better.
oh yeah, I feel like we actually talked about this at practice, that our rugby team could probably play better.
No, exactly. I mean, going to the games, especially as a team, you're standing there all shouting like, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
From one contact sport to another, lock in.
Lock in. Like, you're fine. Get up. You're fine.
Some nice stiff arms over here. It's just a crowd of people over that ball. I don't even know who has possession right now. And someone's on the ground. Two people are on the ground. Mitosis.
Mitosis? They just
I
spawned.
saw one
They
person and
spawned.
another person just appeared.
And now the Beavs are back 10 here, so they got to get back and before Gonzaga gets that tap and go.
Should probably warn the teams. The sun's out. They might get sunburnt.
I know.
It's scary.
Yeah, I am embarrassed to say I'm a redhead.
Are you saying you're embarrassed to say you're a redhead?
I'm embarrassed because I would get burned in this,
Oh,
honestly.
well, I mean, fair enough. You know, I can't say anything. I'm also very light-skinned. Not a redhead, though, so I got that going for me.
Yeah, I mean, shoot. It looks like it's another lineout.
Line out. It looks like it's Gonzaga possession. You know, I'm looking at their line, and I'm offset from what they're standing, but even then, it's not seeming like they have enough depth on these runs.
No, and
It's, you know, it's really off-minute offload, or off-minute, brother, I cannot talk about it apparently. Last-minute offloading, and it's just really forcing them to make some decisions they shouldn't have to be making.
yeah. It also puts you in a lot of danger for forward passes because if the person who has the ball ends up having to slow down or ends up getting stopped too quickly, you're pretty much one more step and you're in front of them.
Yeah.
You keep that depth, you're able to make a lot more decisions. You can do switches, you can kind of do, you just have more options in general. But
Yeah.
I think that could be something that their depth could really help them get past. And
Lots
that's-
of more classic plays for sure are able to be done with more depth.
Yeah. They are gonna call a forward pass, which is gonna end up being another scrum.
You know, our camera people seem like they're having a great time right now, actually.
Honestly, yeah, they start kicking their feet and boop, 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 boop.
I mean, it's a fun game to watch. Can't
It
blame
is.
them.
Also,
I'm glad I'm here.
It's not raining,
Oh my God.
which is shocking.
It's very rare here in Oregon.
We were fully expecting rain here today too.
You know, the weather report almost always lies.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's going to be cloudy today. And I thought for sure, I was like, that means rain. That
oh
just
yeah.
means rain.
I mean, because usually in Oregon, it's true.
It's true, yeah. Especially in Washington. I think Washington gets a little more rain than Oregon.
Oh really?
And I mean, I complain about it as much. I complained about it a lot considering how I've born and raised in Oregon.
Okay.
But, you know, I can only imagine how Washington feels.
Yeah, I've actually only ever been to Washington like 3 times. I'm from Colorado, which is
Oh.
like very sunny, very,
Well,
you know.
sunny and like 30 degrees at the same time. Colorado's
Yeah.
interesting.
But I will always see the
Oh,
sun.
that was
Oh, a little bit of a high pass.
not only a high pass, but it seemed like 3 people managed to just barely tap that ball with the tip of their fingers and yet miss the catch. So it looks like we're kind of just going for a little tickle on the ball instead of catching it now.
Just kind of, you know, see where it ends up.
Moral support.
Moral support.
I don't know what the sir's calling anymore. It looks like he's doing sign language. Unfortunately, I don't speak sign language.
I ain't got that.
Wow, that was a good
one.
I'll give that one to Gonzaga. That was a nice run on. Unfortunately, Oregon State has a very good tackling idea, but
Yeah. Oh,
there we go.
and there's
Able to drop a
another
few more
one.
people. No jackal there. Gonzaga's kind of tightening up their offense. Again, if they had more depth,
yeah,
they could
it's
have gotten away with more plays. But
It's just flat pass after flat pass.
to be
which-
fair, they're a very new team. These things
yeah.
take time to learn. And, you know, Oregon State's been doing this for how long?
I don't even, honestly. It's
Long enough.
over 20 years, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know Dave's been here for a minute, but. Another scrum. Got some subs coming in as well. Oregon State Rugby was actually established in 1992, so it's been a long time coming till we got to this point.
Yeah.
But
Been going for a while, and I mean, that age difference.
oh yeah, looks like we're resetting the scrum again. As a back, at least in my opinion, I feel bad because forwards go through scrums over and over and over, and then the ball gets knocked on, and they have to do it again, and they have to do it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, ball comes out of the scrum, gets knocked on, they do it again.
I do feel really bad. I mean, I'm sitting back there as fullback. I'm just pretty much twiddling my thumbs.
Oh,
waiting for
yeah.
them to, like, I'm like, okay, you guys can figure it out. You got it. But
It's
you know,
like, oh,
after the third attempt, I'm like, okay, maybe we can speed this up a little bit. You know, I'm kind of getting tired of just standing around, cooling off, and that's not
Yeah.
a good thing in rugby.
And it looks like Alina's face slid on the turf just a little bit.
Just a little bit. That elbow's looking a little red.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure her
That
forehead
shower's
might
not
have gone
gonna
out
be.
first.
Oh, you know, that shower's going to be interesting.
Oh, that's going to sting. That's going to sting real bad.
It's just not a fun time, especially if it's like openly bleeding during the game. Once you get in that shower, you turn your shower red. Your face turns red because it hurts.
Everything is just red at that
just
point.
red.
It's
you
just
know,
red all the time.
My shower was red very consistently. I dyed my hair red. I bled a lot from rugby. It was just, I could not escape it. Moving out of that apartment was a
Honestly,
nightmare.
at that point, just paint the shower.
I really should have.
You should have. It would have hidden it a little bit.
Maybe.
Oh, right into touch.
Yeah.
Another line out.
We could see one of the men's coaches, Quinn Vesely, over there in the pink shirt.
He actually serves a lot of our games.
He does. He's a great serve.
Very appreciative of him.
Yeah.
Thank you, Quinn.
Shout out Quinn, for real.
Shout out, Quinn.
We're going to see possession for Oregon State here. And if you look at our offensive line, you'll see a little more depth. I mean, not the best example right now, but
No.
you'll still see a little more depth. And you'll see a lot of communication there between our backs, trying to plan what the move is. And, I mean, ultimately, you can only plan so much. A lot of it will be improvisation, but you can still estimate.
Yeah, and you can tell they're kind of getting their depth back a little bit. They could get even more. Honestly, in 15s, you can take up half the field.
Yeah, you
with
can do
depth.
a lot of.
Oh, and
You don't
Kayla just, wow. Kayla just knocked a prop right over. Ooh.
Grabbing that leg,
Grabbing
and that's
the
a
leg.
good move, you know. It's hard to run when you have a person attached to your leg.
You know,
That
drag
being
him.
said, if you're not a very large person, it's pretty easy to just keep running.
Yeah.
It's just I have a heavier leg now. Nice catch
And
from
right-
number 14.
wow.
Made a beautiful
And
fence,
there's
too.
Emma. That is Emma, another grad student of ours. That this is also, we got a lot of players that this is their first home league game.
You know,
and they're
considering
playing
how
well.
many firsts you have on that team, you're doing amazing.
Yeah, they're killing it right now. They're doing really well. It's a quick little recovery too by Emma.
And now you're going to see all the Oregon State players kind of just walking off the field casually. Walking back to the side, yeah, we did that, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
That's all right,
It's
but
casual. Just another
can-
day of rugby.
Tell you what's going through a few of their heads right now is
Wow!
something like that.
Or it's the, all right, I'm starting to get really tired.
Yeah, I'm imagining a few of the forwards are starting to pull the, I'm going to walk normally, but in their head they're like, I want to be limping right now.
Mm-hmm.
Especially once the enemy team starts tackling legs. You know, I've had days where I cannot walk the next day.
Oh, yeah. They start going for, like, knees.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, you get, like, the tall, skinny guys in the other team tackling you. I'm like, okay, that's just your collarbone cutting my leg in half.
Yeah. It's like, man, you just somehow dead leg me with your shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
And that's coming from the medium-height skinny guy.
yeah, I have, unfortunately, very long legs. And trying to tackle someone like Carolyn's height, I have to get down so low.
Carolyn has a nice benefit from that,
Yeah.
I will say.
It's, I mean, they barely got a crouch to get low.
I
Like,
think they're already there.
yeah, oh yeah, it doesn't even matter. But trying to get down that, and obviously our coach is like, get lower, get lower. I can't.
I can't.
Like, I am
Sir,
pretty
these
much.
knees have been through a lot.
Yeah, you're asking a lot
Yeah.
of my knees right now.
And I mean, if you look at like kind of older rugby players as they kind of go into retirement age, they look like they're in excellent shape. Their bones, not so much.
Oh yeah,
The muscles, amazing. You know, they're in great shape. They're like, yeah, I run every weekend. I just ran a 5K last week. I'm like, dude, you're 70. And then they, get up and it sounds like it's Velcro.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm about 5'8". I'm not super tall, especially compared to like Andy is about 6'6'1".
Well, Andy's an
but
exception.
Andy's an exception. But
I mean, look back in that field back there. Is that Andy back there? I can't tell. The scrum
That's
cap?
Hadley. Hadley's also about 5'11".
Yeah.
but-
So
Yeah, it is really entertaining because Carolyn's probably 5'1", 5'2". So watching that like almost foot height difference,
yeah.
is just really entertaining.
It's honestly, I have a lot of respect for Carolyn having that much confidence going into those runs.
Oh yeah.
Because I've been in that 1 foot height difference, and I will tell you, it's one of two things. I will be either extremely confident because that guy's, already above me. Nice run from number
And
13.
the offload from Lizzie after the catch on the chip, and Kaylee's gonna score again.
Yeah, and who made that kick?
That was Helena.
Ooh.
Helena and her chip kicks right now. We call him Cookie.
Cookie?
Cookie.
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 I never got a nickname from Rugby.
Oh no, it's not her nickname.
Oh.
It's just what we call chip kicks.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Well, chocolate chip.
Cookie.
chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
Cookie.
But yeah, another really good kick with a good play that came out of it. But
Yeah, there was a little bit of a discussion between the captains of the teams before that play was done. What they said, anyone's guess at this rate. I can't hear much.
they're cheesing. They're liking
They're
it.
teasing. I think Lizzie wants like a shout out or something,
Yeah,
but good luck with that.
as you shouted her out.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Shout out. God, what names do I know on this team?
What names do you know? Let's see.
I know Lizzie.
Yeah.
I know Andy.
Okay.
My partner Abby.
Yes.
I'd hope.
I would hope you know Abby's
Yeah, after
name.
3 concussions, it's getting a little rough around the edges. All right.
I think that would be you might need to quit sports.
Yeah. Well, probably. But
If you forgot your partner's name,
I haven't yet. Just forgotten one or
emphasis
two
on the
date nights.
yet.
Yes, there's always room for growth.
Is that growth?
Well,
Would that be
that's
growth?
up to user interpretation.
Okay, so apparently, according to you, growth is forgetting your partner's name.
Well,
everybody.
user being my concussion, not me.
Right.
Nice
okay.
catch from Lizzie.
Oh, and
said
she
her
might
name
swing
again.
it out wide. Oh, but just behind. Man.
Oh,
ball stayed
that's
in.
something going on. I couldn't tell you what. It's some type of interpretive dance, it seems.
It's around the neck. That's a horse collar.
Is that what you call that?
Horse collar, or I don't know, choking someone out.
Yeah. I call it entertaining. That's what I call it.
Yeah. As long as I'm not the one it's happening to. There you go.
What?
Oh, she got a yellow for it.
Ooh. So how do yellow cards work in this game, Amelia?
Okay, so if a yellow card is given, then your team plays down a man. So they're 80 minutes, right? Games are 80 minutes. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, it's a 10-minute penalty.
I believe it's either 8 or 10. Something
Yeah,
along
it's
those
8 or
lines.
10. It rarely happens. I think it only ever happens
Really?
on ours, at least.
I think the men's team might have a little more passion behind our hits.
Yeah, let's call it passion.
I don't know if it's passion.
It's definitely not passion.
It's personal.
It's personal.
It's personal.
Yeah.
And I know that, especially for us, and I know especially for the Idaho men's team at least, they're not afraid to get a yellow card.
Oh, no.
I don't mean to call you out, but, Idaho, maybe don't tackle up on our necks next time.
Be careful. Yeah, our only other yellow card last season was, of course, against UO.
Yeah.
And that was actually on UO. But, pick and go.
Pick and go here. Lots of fends, and you'll see she's just going to keep running as long as she can.
But, yeah, yellow cards, your team plays down for that amount of time. So right now, Gonzaga is actually playing 14 versus 15. Oh,
Yeah.
and Callie's going to take it again.
20 running up the field.
Callie, our grad student. Oh, tap it. Oh, you went out. There it is. She got it.
Nice run. That'll bring the score up to at least 79. If they can make that kick, that'll bring it up to 81.
Oh, yeah.
If my math is right.
Your math was right. You got that.
I'd hope so. Engineering programs are hard.
Still, after 3 concussions, I'm impressed.
They were spaced out. Does it make it better if one of them was on the couch?
Can I ask how that happens?
Well, you know how couches have a wooden frame?
Did you just...
So there's a magnet in my head, and there's a magnet in the wooden frame of the couch, and it was a romantic interaction
Did
between
you
my forehead and the
fall?
couch. I was maybe 10, so I don't even know what happens.
How do you even know that you're concussed at 10 years old?
Well, I can actually tell you exactly what my parents say. They say, we knew you were concussed because you went, I'm tired, I'm going to go to bed, which is something that never happens to me.
Especially at 10, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, no, I'm a very energetic person, especially at 10 years old, so the fact that I was tired, something was instantly wrong.
Something was wrong.
Couch is still there. Fortunately enough, the frame is stronger than my skull, which is rare because I've broken concrete with my skull before.
Why are you just always face down in something?
I got a big head.
Just gets in your way, I guess.
It really does. My sister told me when I turned 18, she goes, I was fascinated when you made it past the age of 5. Thanks a lot, sis.
Your big, heavy head just, dragged you toward things.
It helps a lot in rugby.
I
got a built-in helmet.
You know what, yeah. Honestly, I say you just start leading with your head.
I've done it. I got to
Oh.
throw up.
Oh.
That's a lie. I'm entirely lying. But he was out for a bit. He was out for about 10 minutes.
Well, I mean, with your noggin, it makes sense.
You know, they always said use your head, and I didn't know they were talking about thinking. I thought you were just talking about physically. We're going to go for the hug method on this tackle up here by Gonzaga, and it's going to be, oh, a nice little cuddle session on the ground.
Little gator roll together.
Yeah.
That's
Less
so
of a death
cute.
roll in rugby. Oh, that might be.
Oh,
Gonna stay up
bounce.
for that. And
Oh,
Not
stiff arm
defense.
again.
Ooh,
And
nice.
offload
And look at how many people
into
we have.
Helena.
So many people for
Helena.
support here.
Oh,
Oh, gonna drop
you're
that
good.
ball.
Good. Wait.
Something happened.
Looks like she got a little cramp. Let's see if it's clamshelling. No clamshell. My calf cramp.
Oof. God, that's brutal. It's especially, when you look, you're like, oh man, my calf's cramping. You look down, and you can see your calf cramping.
Especially when it's at like 3 in the morning.
Oh my God.
And you wake up and your calf's
You're
just like
dehydrated.
striding.
You're like,
Awful.
bed's all sweaty. You're like, how long was I out for?
Yeah.
We have a prone cameraman in front of us
Getting the best angles possible.
of the referees behind. Yeah.
Honestly, all of their behinds.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to look at anything else in the scrum, considering how that's all there really is
Yeah.
being shown. Everyone else's head is inside.
Oh, yeah. Their heads are,
It's a lot of leg.
yeah. Their heads are in specific places.
It's not the most comfortable place.
No.
Lots of pushing, lots of pushing.
Yeah.
Gonna
Very
go out on the
dominant
Gonzaga
scrums.
on the Gonzaga side.
Their 9's going to try to take it, but ends up getting stopped pretty quickly.
Oh, it's
Oh.
just running sideways, which is a big no-no in rugby because you're just taking space away from your teammates.
With a beautiful tackle from Chloe as well.
Yeah.
Quick little chase down. Chloe has these very long legs. Like her one stride is like, I have long legs, but it's like my 2 strides is her 1, and it is insane.
That's fascinating. Long bounds.
Yes.
Her stride.
So impressive. Like, you can just grab. Oh, prop. And that prop almost broke through, and Kayla's going to try to jackal it, and honestly.
Oh, where's the?
Maybe not releasing?
Oh, Surf bringing it back
Just
to where it
kidding.
was.
Yep.
I thought he was just running off the field for a second. I thought he was going on a lunch break.
I honestly thought he was going to go talk to Quinn.
Well,
Get his
maybe.
input a little bit. Hi, Quinn. How are we doing? How are we feeling? Are we enjoying? And his little pretty pink.
Doesn't he look pretty in pink?
He does look pretty in pink. It's very flattering.
It is. I wish I looked that good in pink. Instead, I just look like a cartoon character. Doesn't help that I act like one too, but it works on occasion.
You
It's
know what?
off-putting for people.
When it works, it works. And honestly, show your sparkle.
Exactly. Be who you are.
Be who you are. Oh. And it's like we're gonna get a tap and go from Kayla. And straight to a line out.
Nice line out going to Oregon State. Gonna try and move that ball through the ranks.
And it looks like Gonzaga's defense is a little condensed right now.
Yeah, if Oregon State was smart, they'd move that ball out to the outsides and really take advantage of that space.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Definitely
see how
figure
it
out-
goes.
Ooh.
Gonzaga, some broken
For
ankles out there.
us, it looks like. Yeah, she ducked that arm pretty quickly.
Oh yeah. For the first little bit of my rugby career, I didn't have cleats, and
Oh.
let me tell you, it was interesting. It was mainly just practices,
Oh, okay. But you never
Um,
played in a game without cleats, right?
Huh?
You never played in a
No,
game
no,
without
no, no.
cleats?
I did a a rugby touch class without cleats. That was
Do you not like slip and eat
I
it?
slept a lot. Yeah, I
You
just
slept a lot.
No, I
you know.
slept a lot and ate it quite a bit.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
Call me big and greedy, the way I ate it a lot.
Oh, and a jackal as well from Hadley.
Nice, a nice run through there too.
It's just big hit after big hit
It
after
really
big
is.
hit.
It's like three people to a tackle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice lob over. Gonna
Right
catch
idea,
that.
though, because they're, like we were talking about, their defense.
Ooh, big hit.
So, also, depending on the serve, most would say to get lower on that because she kind of wrapped the shoulders a little bit. But
I'm just judging off of how she bounced off and then assume the serve kind of let that one slide.
yeah.
A little bit of a rubber ball action.
Oh, just forward, but it was the right idea.
It was. We've got some nice playmaking here.
Another see, poor forwards. We just get to like kind of twiddle our fingers in the back.
Me
They're
too.
like fighting for their
Me too.
lives.
That being said, during practices, we do have to run a lot more.
We
And
do.
during games.
The forwards always make fun of us because we have to do a lot of shoulder mobility and like ankle strengthening. So we'll be doing like just straight up like just continuous bounces or doing like skiers over the line, and the forwards are fully like pushing like a 400-pound sled.
I was gonna say it's not out right now. Oh no, it is out slightly.
Is
It's
it?
just covered.
Oh yeah, it's covered.
But no, big. You thought the football sleds were big?
No.
No.
Those things are, I think, fully loaded. They're about 350.
And then you start putting people on top of
Yep.
it too.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, per rugby player, you're getting a good amount of mass.
Oh yeah. And the backs are sitting over there. We're running our silly little plays.
Yeah, it's
We're-
like, we're gonna do number 3. And it's all fun and games during practice. I'm like, I love this, and then I'm in the game. I'm like, I'm half the size of this man I'm about to tackle.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I can't complain too much. That's come into my advantage a few times. They're like, he's a small guy, and I've fully picked up the 300-pound person and just dropped him.
Oh yeah.
It's a very satisfying feeling.
It is.
My back hurt a lot the next day.
You didn't lift with your legs?
Well, I lifted with my legs, but unfortunately, I think my back wanted to stabilize it and didn't do it the right direction.
You know what? Bit off more than you could chew. But you did it
Exactly.
in the
Well,
moment.
Exactly. There was some adrenaline there. It helped.
That's literally the name of the game in rugby.
It is.
Is how much adrenaline you can
Nice
get at one
tackle there.
time. Almost, honestly, hit her into her own teammate.
Might get a domino effect going on.
Honestly, I'd love to see it. Oh, and Izzy took it right out of her hands.
Good offload.
There it
again.
is.
Gonna
Good
run it up the field.
offload. And Kayla's going
Ooh.
to try that grubber again.
She can get to
And
that ball
She might
first.
get it here.
She does.
She's going to get it
Going
again.
into that try zone. Nice.
That grubber and her are best friends.
Oh, they really are.
I will say there was at a Portland tournament, she tried it, and it was muddy and wet. Ball went out the back, and she almost hit a tree.
Oh, well, I wouldn't recommend hitting the trees.
No.
Especially that it was at the.
We're at a full-blown all-day tournament in Portland.
That was muddy. I was there.
Mm-hmm.
No. That was. We hosed my partner off in my family's yard, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Our jerseys after that were coated. We all did mudslides after.
Oh, that does sound fun.
It was very fun until we all realized we still had an hour-and-a-half drive home. And
And a smelly van.
yeah, we were actually in our personal cars.
Oh.
And I was a driver. I have white cloth seats. Yeah. Yeah. So if you can imagine what color those seats are now.
And, it's most teams have at least some variation of a white jersey, which I've never understood why, because especially playing rugby, that never stays white for long. Even on a nice
No.
day like this, it turns red very quickly.
Oh, yeah, there's blood,
Nosebleeds,
like-
turf burn. I've seen people's arms dislocated. I've seen people's ankles shattered. It's just a brutal sport. But that's why we're here to watch it.
And it's so much fun.
It is. It really is.
The brutality of it's oddly fun.
It's therapeutic,
It
really.
is therapeutic, honestly.
It's like people with anger issues invented the sport.
I mean, genuinely, who needs therapy?
No, not me.
No.
Anyway.
I do know parents, not the sport that parents love the most.
I don't think my
But-
mom was very happy when I signed up for rugby, but You know, to be fair, the first match she ever watched me in was the one where I was stuck in the middle of a mall.
Oh, good.
I got picked up, and the mall proceeded to collapse on top of me.
Oh, good.
My poor mother was terrified. She literally turns to my dad, and she goes, "Was that our son that just got crushed alive?" Yes, Mom, it was.
Was that my child?
Yes.
Who is now a roadblock?
Yes. Fear not, Mom.
And Emma is just dragging him with?
It seems like it's just kind of come to a jogging pace at this point. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on, but
I think
seems
people
confused.
are either A, getting
that was
tired.
Oh!
Oh, she didn't get up for a minute either. Oh, another one. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, Oregon State's just blowing through this defensive line.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just...
It's like, it's always a... It's... Oh.
Oh,
Just put her
struggling on
hand
where to grab, but, you know.
in an interesting place, but that's
Yeah,
okay.
you can tell she came from wrestling.
Yeah.
Nice run on here. Gonna be able to grab that
and
shirt, but
there's
that does
that
not matter.
shirt.
Oh, nice
Yeah.
snatch there.
Rugby clothing is built very durably for that
it is.
reason.
Those shorts.
Those shorts will never actually. The test to see if they're tight enough and they fit is someone tries to pants you.
Yeah.
And you just hope it works.
It's happened to a few of the guys in games. I believe
Yeah.
Dawson one time lost his shorts just mid-match.
Yeah.
What is
What's wrong with-
Oh,
Uh-oh.
got some interesting things going on the field. One player down, another player spitting or throwing up or something.
Probably throwing up. Honestly, it's pretty common in this sport.
It is, and I believe that is
And
the
that
end
is
of the
game.
match.
And look at that.
84-7 final score. Beavers ahead.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go to break really quick, but we will be back with some post-game interviews, stuff like that. And then don't forget to stick around because we have a B-side match right after this. I know, I'm sorry.
No, that was awesome. Okay, guys. So, B team was already.
They usually try to warm up a little before.
Brady,
But
were you able to talk to coach? This is like the minutes. They're gonna send Kaylee over. Okay, cool. Okay. So, once Kaylee's over, can you tell me? Once Kaylee's over, can you tell me?
oh my ears.
So B team was already.
It sounds like this.
Show rush the process. Only 24 hours and damn. Going.
Through moss, through trees, through cut up knees, through dirt and soot and bloody jeans.
Pulling apart the sides that I made.
It's just a dance floor. DJ, can you turn me up? Everybody in the club, go and put your hands up.
And we are back. Just a reminder, the finishing score of the A side, Oregon State versus Gonzaga women's rugby match was 84-7, Beavers up. Beautiful match to watch, very physical match. And we're going to get an interview really quick with one of the players. So we're going to send it over to you.
Thank you, guys. I'm joined by Kaylee Newcomer off of the Oregon State Beavers rugby team. Kaylee, thank you for joining. What made you be so successful today? What made the team win today?
So I think we've come a long way. I've been playing for 3 years now. Our team has grown so much. We're finally now in the older ranks of the team, which is awesome. I think we had really good continuity in our passes. I think we were quick on defense. We made those tackles. I think that was super effective. I also think we had some great dummy runs. I think we just have such a strong team that no matter who has the ball, they know that they're going to be a threat. And I think we're just unstoppable.
Awesome. You made some incredible plays today. What do you do in preparation before a match?
Well, today I woke up. I get my hair braided by my roommate. I typically eat breakfast. I drink a coffee, a latte with some brown sugar. I love being the team hype man. I love just rallying behind the team. I'm everyone's biggest supporter. I hope they know that. And yeah, I just get so excited. I love Saturdays.
Awesome, awesome. What, you're early in the season. What's something that you look forward to as the season progresses?
So we have a couple of harder matches coming up in the season. I think we're definitely one of the top, hopefully the top teams. I think our biggest competition is going to be Central Washington, who's coming off varsity status, and Western Washington, who's typically had a good program. So I think the second half of the season, hopefully we're going to be challenged a little more. I don't know, I do love a good blowout, but I also love being challenged. So I think that'll be definitely an awesome second half of the season.
Thank you so much for joining us, Kaylee. Back to you guys in the booth.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm excited to see this B-side match. It should only be 60 minutes rather than 80 minutes, which is unfortunate. But, you know, I'm still excited to see what people are going to do. And these B-side matches are a lot of newer players, too. So, you know, maybe we'll see some innovation here.
Yeah.
All right, and we will be right back with that B-side match after this break. We are back. This is going to be the B-side match for the Oregon State versus Gonzaga. We're going to go ahead and start with the lineup here. Amelia?
All right, for our B side, for the Beavers, at number 1, we have Alex. Number 2, we have Layla. Number 3, we have Shryn. Number 4, we have Anna Kay. Number 5, we have Molly. Number 6, we have Abby. Number 7, we have Callie. Number 8, we have Sydney Wagner. Number 9, we have Ellie A. Number 10, we have Chloe. Number 11, we have Elle. Number 12, we have Izzy. Number 13, we have Lizzie. Number 14, we have Ellie M. And number 15, we have Eloise S.
All right, sounds like a pretty solid lineup. Is there any players in particular you think we should be watching?
I think, honestly, B-side is a lot about kind of just seeing how these newer players work together and honestly learn the game. I think a lot of rugby is you really only can learn when you're doing it.
I would agree.
It's kind of those first couple games are definitely terrifying because obviously it's a very high contact sport. But I would look for, honestly, a lot of our forwards are pretty new. Some of the grad students that we were talking about on the A side are also playing B side.
Ooh.
And so you get to kind of see their skill set on both ends. And same with some of a couple of our wings, fullbacks. They're all kind of, a lot of B side is really just honestly seeing newer players get their chance to really learn and like show what they've learned in practice. But
yeah. So, how has the B-side been playing?
Honestly, our only game right now that's had a B-side has been UO, which was last weekend. But honestly, in general, we have a pretty deep roster, which gives us the opportunity to have a pretty good B-side, and they get to work a lot integrated with A-side because a fair amount of our players play both A and B. And so, honestly, they've been playing well. They've been playing together. You can tell that they're learning really quickly. And honestly, it's really impressive.
Yeah. We have one of the players over here doing signs at me.
Andy's over here.
I don't know what Andy. Andy, what are you trying to say? Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, and there's Dave Dixon running across. That is the head coach.
Just doing a little jog, a little sprint, a little sprog. How does Dave like to coach?
Coach Dave is honestly probably one of the calmest coaches I've ever had in my life. I've played a lot of sports, and he is so composed, and honestly, he's just like a happy little guy. Honestly, he's just happy
like a
to
happy
be
little
there.
guy. I mean, look at that run. There's so much whimsy and wonder behind that run.
Oh yeah, he's like pretty much always smiling. He's got this one smile that he just kind of like is constant. And he's just very he's just honestly out there to have fun with us. And obviously he's competitive, but he's very he's like a clean coach. He does not take any sort of like dirty play. One thing he harps on a lot is this sport is already dangerous enough. There's no reason to make anything more dangerous, especially for other teams.
That's a fair point to make.
Yeah, he's honestly just a very easygoing guy, but very smart as well. And he'll come in and actually play in the back line with us just to facilitate plays and really show off his skill set, which is super cool.
It's always interesting playing with the coach in the team too, because they're leagues ahead of you. So you're playing there. And you miss a play. They're like, you should have interpreted that. I'm like, you you like did a grunt and you moved in 360. Like
I'm like, you've been playing longer than I've been alive.
yeah,
Like it
me
really
a
does
break
show
here.
though. Like, man, this is why they are the coach.
Yeah, no.
Like when he'll come into the back line, he'll usually like come in and play 10, and he's fast too. Dave is a very athletic person, but he does a lot of things outside of rugby that he runs a lot, does triathlon, all that. And he'll just come in and just absolutely break the defense apart piece by piece.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's honestly embarrassing, but at the same time, it's
really
really
terrifying.
impressive.
One, they have the strength and the speed of a rhino, and then they're sitting there analyzing your defense like a psychologist.
Yeah.
And then like, well, I saw that you were stepping left commonly, so I decided to move right, then take a left, and then another right, and then I actually teleported behind you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you're on the other side of the field, and they're on the other side of the field scoring
Yeah.
a try. You're like, I don't actually know how I got here.
No, it like gets popped right over your head. Sometimes it'll just like, it's amazing to me. But
It's fascinating.
especially when you watch like pro rugby.
Oh.
Oh, the things that they do, it doesn't seem
tackles.
humanly possible.
Oh, the tackles.
Like Ellie Kildun, England's 15, probably the best 15 in the world right now. Just watching her, she makes it look so easy. And
They always do.
It's honestly, like, obviously it's impressive, but at the same time I'm like, you have such little time to think, and yet you get so many more thoughts through.
Yeah.
It's not fair, but
I like to think that my brain typically runs pretty fast, but the second I'm in a rugby match, it's brain empty,
Oh, yeah.
thought process gone. I'm like,
it literally, your like legs stop working.
pretty much.
Start like eating it, honestly. And you're sitting there and you're like, oh, I actually have to like move. Oops.
Yeah, you get the ball, you're like, yeah, I want the ball. You get the ball, you're like, I don't actually know if I did want this,
I'm not actually expecting this at all.
Yeah, no.
But-
I mean, there's 15 players on the field.
Yeah.
1 in 15 chance for you to get the ball. You get the ball, you're like, oh.
Yeah, and
know?
honestly, at that time, 3 out of the 15 on the other team are already like basically in your gut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awful.
We will be right back. We're going to go to break really quick, and then we'll be right back with the game. Boo! We're back. Bet you weren't expecting that fast of a break, huh? We're about to start this next B-side game. I'm excited.
It's gonna be good. It's
Oh, we're doing
look
a
at him
little
go!
switcheroo.
Look at him go!
There's a ref running straight towards me. This is terrifying.
This is Maggie Cruz, actually one of the OSU alums.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were generous enough to do line judge for us today.
Ah.
So really appreciate that. We always need it.
Well, I take it was a better option over you, considering what your track
Yeah.
record is.
Considering
Yeah.
my track record, I don't think they'd ever ask me back. But that's okay.
You know,
You know,
practice makes progress.
you do what you got to do.
Yeah. We're going to see Oregon State receiving the ball here. A little offload. Still an Oregon State possession, though.
We made direct eye contact with Chloe after that. There's Abby. Oh. I honestly don't know what just happened.
I don't know what happened either.
It's like their 12 like almost just like slipped her feet out from under her. Oh, so interesting enough, Waylon, number 12 on Gonzaga, is actually an OSU alum.
Whoa.
So I guess I didn't know that they actually went through with it, but I did hear that if they needed players, some of our alums that play for Salem were actually going to play. And so I guess Waylon's in. But
yeah, would you look at that?
interesting enough.
You know, and that's really a testament to the rugby community. It's there to support you when you need support, assuming that rivalry's not there.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely a lot of the teams. I mean, last year we had smaller numbers, and no team has ever asked questions before donating players, and you play
Yeah.
just as hard. You play just as well. I mean, rugby's rugby. We're all just out here to play.
I feel like, if anything, when I'm on the other team at least, I've been donating to the other team a few times, and
Yeah.
I feel like I hit a little harder, honestly, because I know the guys can take it.
You know them.
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely almost like, now's kind of my free, because in practice you hit them, but like,
Yeah,
to
but
an
you don't want to hit
extent-
them too hard, because
Yeah.
if you injure them before a game, that's just rough. But
Yeah.
during a game,
During a game,
I can hit 'em as hard
anything
as I
goes,
want.
honestly.
That being said, goes the other way too. They're gonna hit you as hard as they want.
Oh, yeah. It's also easier to just like laugh about.
It is.
But Chloe's gonna try. Oh, she gonna get it
Little
past? I
kick.
can't actually. My depth perception is actually god awful. But
you know, I can't say much either. I didn't know where that ball went out. I didn't even know if it went out.
But if she got it past the 22, that would have, if it went direct past the 22, it would have been our line out. But I'm not quite sure, and I can't see that far.
You know, I was liking it more when the game was on our side of the field.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's going to be Gonzaga's line out.
Oh, and they
Nice catch of that ball, and they're going to move it out. And they're kind of clumping a little bit. They should spread out more. But
it almost seems like their back line is a little bit of forwards.
It does.
They're kind of traveling in a pod. And it's kind of the same thing with their A side.
Oh, that was a dropped shoulder at the right moment, and you just send someone down.
And you know what? It worked. In her favor, it worked in her favor. Oh, and they're going to do the quick tap and go, and it is going to work because the Beavs did not set up for it.
Nope.
So the first score is going to be Gonzaga.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about during that A-side game. If you want to get that, you should really aim for that quick tap and go. Gets the other team off guard, and you just get a lot of yards off that, or meters, I should say.
Yeah.
My bad.
Meters, yards. It is meters, technically, obviously, but.
Oh.
All right, let's see. I can't see numbers, but let's see if. Oh, she's. So very interesting about this tactic. In sevens, you can't use a tee.
Really?
When you're kicking the extra. But in 15s, most people do, which is why I'm very surprised that she didn't use one. Because usually it's easy, at least in my opinion, it's easier for the tee.
Yeah.
But, and we are going to have that train coming right through here.
So one of the fun facts about Oregon State, we love trains so much.
We're train kids.
We're absolutely train kids. You know, I watched Thomas the Train so much when I was little. Does it show? Maybe.
Is that a bad thing? Not at all.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, you're so welcome. But yeah, everyone's about to hear this train and the horn.
Oh yeah, you guys are not going to be able to hear us over this loud horn. And they're required to go slow through Corvallis as well, so it's just a lot.
It's a good, 40 seconds. Oh, and Gonzaga breaks the line again.
Wow, beautiful line break.
Lizzie,
tackle from Lizzie, wow.
Tackle from Lizzie. Looks like she spun a little bit. Looked like
nice stopping her momentum right there.
That was good. That's Callie as well. Lizzie kind of looked like a top a little bit on the ground.
Here it is. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 engines.
Oh. Wyatt's
5.
over here counting the trains. That's okay.
Hey, you know, we're setting up for a scrum anyway. I've got time. 6, and this is that's 6 engines, so this is going to be a long train.
We did talk about how you were a train kid.
Out of anything, I think I watched the movie. Oh my God, the movie Cars.
Oh, I loved Cars. Oh, okay, one more.
Oh, nice pass.
See, there's that.
And there's that train horn.
And there's the train. And good ruck by Elle.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was that you were saying?
Oh, my bad.
I can't.
Sorry, what?
What?
Oh, wow.
And having played on this field when that train is going by, it really hinders communication for the team as well, not just for us announcers.
Yeah, you really do have to trust your teammates and where they are, because as long as that train is here, which it seems it's a very long train.
Well, it's around 50 cars per engine and 6 engines.
Oh.
This could be up to 300 cars long. Thankfully, the ones that go through for Corvallis are not typically that long.
Yeah. Look at that train knowledge, though.
Welcome to my TED Talk.
Welcome to your train TED
My family's
Talk.
from the Gorge, so I'm used to long, long trains.
We did not have trains where I grew up, ever.
Yeah, does Colorado have anything?
Mountains.
Yeah, that's fair. You guys got skiing.
Oh, yeah, we do. That's,
Went snowboarding at Keystone. Ooh, that was fun.
All right, we're going to see another scrum.
This one's a little closer now, and we can actually tell what's going on.
I know.
So, yes, it does in fact appear to be a scrum. Can confirm from this angle.
From this angle, when all you can see is their legs, that's how you know.
Yeah, and you can't see it right now, but on matches where it's particularly cold out, snowy matches or rainy or haily matches, you can see steam literally coming off of the scrums because of how much heat.
Sweaty little bodies.
Yeah. If that's what you want to call it, that's what we can call it, Amelia.
I mean, it's technically accurate.
No, that is accurate. Yeah, I won't disagree with that.
I mean, that's a good 16 people
I was going to say it was a lot
together.
of energy generated, but sweaty little bodies. I like that description.
Sweaty little bodies. I mean, to be fair, you said what? Meat, flesh?
Oh, we don't need to talk about it, all right? I got a bumper sticker that says, "Ask me about my flush factory."
Oh.
That's a lie. I don't.
You should
Don't
get
ask me
one.
about that.
You
I should. I should
just
custom
get
make
it tattooed on your forehead.
it.
And another
for,
scrub.
You know, for reference, for those of you that haven't seen what I look like, I got a big forehead.
He's got a landscape to work with here.
Oh yeah, could write a novel on that.
No, it's me. You know, me too.
Nice
Oh,
catch.
oh.
Ooh, nice run. Going
Izzy
for
breaks
number 12.
the defense, breaks it again, and
Running
that
back across.
15,
Quinn's catching up.
That 15 looks like not gonna get him. Oh yeah, and there we go.
So if you watch the sir there, you'll notice he was really close behind. Having been in that situation, it's terrifying.
Oh,
Quinn
yeah.
is not a small person.
Quinn is not small.
No.
And he is
Fast.
He's quick. He's got these long legs. Man, all of them got long legs. Let's be
They
real.
do all got long legs. You got long legs too.
I do.
You were
got
just
long
talking
legs.
about that.
I was. And finding pants that fit, not
Tell
an
me
easy
about
task.
it. Oh my god.
It's awful.
Tell me about it.
I'm basically just wearing like 3/4 length leggings half the time. I'm kidding. I would not. But some of my jeans, when you sit down, you know, when it comes up and almost hits your knee. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have Lizzie kick. Lizzie also played soccer for a long time.
Lizzie's been on this team for how long now?
She joined her spring of her freshman year, so about 3.5 years. This will
Wow.
be, she's a senior now, so this is her last year here at OSU, but
And she had to take, half a year off for a broken collarbone?
she took, it was about, oh gosh, 4 weeks, but then Lizzie actually did 2 terms abroad in Australia last year.
Right.
So she
I'm
was
jealous.
gone this year from January to June in Australia. She came back this fall. Oh, and the ball's actually coming right
This is
towards
going
us.
straight towards us.
Yep.
Oh. Hello, ball.
It's just a big egg.
It is. I can only imagine the size of that bird.
But he looks like an ostrich.
I think it might have been a quinn.
Ostriches are terrifying.
You know what's scarier than an ostrich? A cassowary. You ever heard of those?
Oh, yeah? That was a crazy pull, though, I won't lie.
All right, number 2 is going to be throwing in the ball for Oregon State here.
That is Layla.
Ooh. Going straight
I'm
to...
not quite sure if that was down
I don't
the
think
center,
that was down the center, but you know what? It's
you know
B-side
what?
game. We're going to be a little
It's a B-side
lenient.
game. It's fine. Okay, and got the ball out quick. That was a quick ruck, which is good. Oh, and Callie looks like she took that one.
Oh,
Hurt
nice
her a
run
little
on.
bit.
There we go.
I
Ooh.
can't see who that was.
Going down, and once again, we are met with a wall of flesh that I cannot see past. But it's going to be on Oregon State's side once again.
Really, you're really liking that word flesh right now.
Well, you brought
huh?
it up again, and now it's stuck in my head. So if you think about it, it's really your fault.
You know what? You're so right. You're all. You know what? You're just always right.
I am. You know, ask anyone. They'll be like, yeah, Wyatt's always right.
Exactly. Oh.
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 I don't know if that was much of a tackle, but
That was more of mass versus mass.
that was a immovable object meets an unstoppable force.
Okay, Newton. Oh. Oh, high tackle. Yeah.
High tackle.
That makes sense. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, that looks
Might
like
be
she's
Lizzie's-
struggling to breathe a little bit.
Probably got wind knocked out of her. Oh, just kidding. That's her collarbone.
Oh.
That's the one she broke.
Of course. All right, we're going to go to an injury break. We will be right back. We're back, and we're immediately off. And we're immediately on the ground. Oh, we're back in the hands.
It got there.
And
Oh.
the sun is shining even more, which I didn't know was possible.
I know. I'm like actually warm.
No,
which
me
is
too.
shocking. Quick little tap and go on the ground this time. Which
Gonzaga's doing pretty good with this B-side.
yeah, Gonzaga's
It's,
B-side is they're picking up the pace a little
Yeah.
bit.
I will say, I do think Oregon State B-side could be a little more aggressive with their defense.
Yeah, I think OSU specifically has 3 different types of defenses that we play based on the field and like where we are, and we kind of really make sure that we drill it in at practice for these specific instances, because there's a lot of ways you
Nice
can beat
tackle
just a
there.
single flat defense. But so the player that was actually injured was Lizzie. She played in the A side game as well. She is currently on the sideline, but looking like she's doing well. Looks to be some sort of stinger, maybe a collarbone just issue. But looks to be okay, but she is on the sideline and is probably done for the day since she played A side as well. But
Yeah, it might be smart at this point.
yeah,
Don't want to hurt that collarbone much more, you know.
No.
And those injuries don't go away very quickly either. They last.
yeah, that's another thing with rugby. If you play 80 minutes, you are immediately done for the day.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter between A or B, but the second you hit 80 minutes, you're done. It looks like, did they score again? Yeah, Gonzaga scored again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gonzaga's B-side is kind of bringing up the energy in this game. I won't even lie, they seem to be really pushing the pace and really wanting to get it there.
Yeah, I think Oregon State might be getting a little tired.
Yeah, I think they're tired. And I don't know if they just need to pick up the pace a little bit and really kind of want it a little more.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
it was a high kick, too. Oh, she used the T this time. Okay.
Gonna go through, so bring up the points to, I believe, 12-7, with Gonzaga being up. It appears they actually found all of the numbers. You know, last time I had to work with those numbers, we were missing a 9 and
Yeah.
a 3.
We were missing a 5 at one
And a
point,
5,
too,
I
so
think,
we'd
yeah.
flip the 2 upside down
Yeah.
and just make it look like a makeshift 5.
It was not the best, but
No.
you know, seems like we found all the numbers. Good. Definitely makes it easier to
Paint a
read.
piece of paper. I don't know.
I was debating that, you know.
Yeah. Because at some point we just ended up, I think we just stopped using the board.
That's
and we
real.
just used our phone or notepad. Yeah, it looks like Gonzaga's B-side 10 is really a huge facilitator in this game. Still, though, that depth.
Yeah, that depth really needs to be happening. And here you're kind of seeing that pendulum action. You'll see the wing on Oregon State side just ran back. Now that we're on offense, they're going to move back up. But on defense, when the ball is on Oregon State's right side, the left side wing is going to move back a little bit, kind of help reinforce that fullback.
Yeah. It looks, a little late to that ruck, and it
That's
looks like
unfortunate.
Gonzaga got it.
Bring her down.
Pretty strong tackles,
Oh,
though, by
that might be a
OSU.
jackal. Oh, not quite a jackal. They were
Not
able to
quite,
snatch that
but-
out in time, but
Pretty strong tackles, though, and especially on those tackle assists. That's another thing we've been drilled is if you need 2 people really learning how to do it correctly.
yeah.
Oh, someone's stuck in the ruck.
You know,
Kind of
that
looks
happens.
like a roly-poly.
Yeah. I like bugs.
I like bugs. Little praying mantis action.
Ooh.
Oh. And
Bring it
that right
down
there
there.
is the definition of a 15's job.
Mm-hmm.
And Eloise played
Makes
it
it
well.
past the rest of the break. And I distinctly remember the emotion. It makes it past every one of the forwards and backs, and you're just there, and you're like, really?
Yeah.
Because, you know, ultimately, as a 15, I don't want to do my job, man.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, I do want to play, but it's never a good thing when it
It's-
makes it through the line.
It's
you know?
usually like a last case
Exactly.
scenario. It's like if they make it through you, they're scoring.
Yeah.
Which is just an unfortunate position to be in.
It is. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it is. Usually fun.
It is a very fun position.
They're
I cannot
pretty hard
complain.
hits, but
Yeah.
yeah. Another scrum going. Still OSU scrum though. Getting a little warm.
It is getting
I'm not
toasty
used to
out
the
there.
sun here.
Oregon State's going to be able to kick that ball out through the back, kind of move it through the
Oh.
ranks here. Just
That-
barely missing some hands here, but it's okay. We're going to be able to pick it back up.
I will say that is what we like to call a hospital pass.
Oh, where it
That's
goes
literally
little-
how you send your teammate to the hospital. But luckily, it was fine. Oh! So, Callie just got lifted off the ground a little bit.
You know, I'm assuming you've been on both sides of that scenario.
Yeah.
It's a interesting position to be in.
Yeah, and technically with tackling laws, as long as their hips or their legs hit the ground first, right, it's legal.
Yeah.
As long as it's not the upper half of their body that hits first and you go down with them, it's legal.
Yeah.
So that was a clean tackle. It's just unfortunate
Doesn't make it any
for
less
Callie.
meaningful, though.
Yeah, and you can see her. She was holding her hip for a good minute, which fair, but
Oh, where's the...
Oh.
We're going to play a little nutmeg here.
yeah. Oh, and that is
Nice run, nice run.
Swags. That is her nickname.
Oh.
But Sydney Wagner.
You guys love nicknames on this team, don't you?
A lot of us have some long names.
That's real. That's
Yeah.
real.
So you kind of just inherit it. And there's Callie again, still going to go for it. Good run still, though. Callie's taking a bit of a beating, though. Come on. Little
Little bit
chip
of a-
kick.
Little kick right there.
And it
Ooh,
went
nice
straight
snatch from
to
12.
Izzy.
And that's going to be a run straight into that try zone, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Good little chip kick, though. It is good to see, like, the practicing kicks has really been paying off.
It is, and it's an important thing to know. You can kick the ball at any point in rugby, and it's just a very strong tool.
Yeah, especially if you can really dial it in, because it really is the only way the ball can travel forward.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like Callie's going off. She might be done. But
Yeah, she's walking with a little bit of a limp here, which is understandable. She's taking some big hits today.
Yeah, and the player who came on for her is Corinna. She is also a grad student.
Now, if I'm correct, I believe both Abby and Corinna are from the women's rowing team.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're women's rowing. We have actually a fair amount of rowers.
Yeah.
We obviously had field hockey, which was Callie. A few different sports that just came to grad school and started, but this is actually Corinna's first time playing in a rugby game ever.
Ooh. Now, which number is Corinna?
I don't know sub number. I know she's playing flank now, which is usually the 6 or 7 right now. It looks like she's wearing 16.
All right.
Yeah,
This will be an exciting match for her.
It'll be exciting. She definitely took some time through practices. She was like, I really want to make sure I know what I'm doing before I play, which is very fair.
Very smart. I probably should have done that before getting put on my butt.
Shouldn't we have all? But you know,
But
she's came to practice, and the second we saw her hit for the first time, I was
sold.
excited. Let's just say.
I'm excited to see this progress. I'm excited to see these hits, this potential.
Yeah.
Something in the air.
She's fast too.
Oh, yeah.
She's tall, she's quick, which makes sense why she's playing flank. But
I'm excited. This B-side match is off to a pretty good start, pretty eventful, and I think it's only going to go up from here.
yeah, very competitive too. They're kind of trading off scores right now, but
Gonna try and keep that ball. Oh,
almost ripped Elle's head off a little bit. I won't lie.
scary.
Yeah, it was a good tackle by the scrummy 9 though. Ellie got low and did a really good job.
Yeah. It's just seeing a lot of. It's just a war zone out there right now. It's 2 lines, 2 different teams, and it's just nonstop collision.
Oh yeah. Yeah, B-side games are definitely a lot more contact typically, but still obviously very entertaining, very fun.
Oh yeah.
But I think, is this going to be the first line out of the game?
I think this is the first line on a B-side. Now B-side lineouts
no,
are.
they had another one that was right in front of us, but
Oh, I lied. Then.
not as many as we thought.
Me when I lie. Happens.
You and I actually don't know.
Can you tell that I don't know?
Do you know?
Is it showing? I don't know if I don't know.
I don't know.
Line out.
We all don't know. Line out. To the forward pack.
We're going to see what these lineouts are. Now, B-side lineouts tend to be a little more rough than A-side lineouts because you will often have not an entirely organized B-side. And, you know, A-side, they get to practice those lineouts, specific people in specific areas. And B-side, it's just kind of making do with what you've got.
Yeah, B-side's a lot of, here, try this position you've played one time.
Yeah.
Which, like,
Ooh.
so fair that it's not always understood.
That's rough.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, and Chloe's their 10 breaking through, but you can tell B-side, OSU's B-side has been keeping really good depth, which is a good improvement as well, because you can tell that practice is really paying off. Oh, through the legs. Oh,
Oh,
A little
hey.
bit of a high tackle.
Yeah, just kind of holding her like a suitcase.
Yeah. Maybe a shopping bag?
Yeah. You know? Gonna move around for me? I don't know.
I don't know.
Game still goes, though.
And theoretically, in this type of position with field positioning, you would try to clearance kick it, get
I
it
think
out.
a kick.
And
There we go.
Oh,
Oh, well,
little higher than it was
up
far.
rather than far, but yeah.
But, you know, it was an attempt.
The attempt was made, and that's what matters.
It was an attempt that, you know, it was the right idea.
Little handoff there.
Yeah. Oh.
Interestingly enough, I don't think the person tackling her noticed, and they just
No.
kind of kept going.
I don't think they realized that she lost the ball.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is, once
There-
again, we are being met with the pit.
Yeah. I wonder. Oh, and the counter. Oh,
Big hits there.
and that's honestly, yeah, in that position, that's how you do it. You get the ball out quick, get it to a bigger player that can almost just fall forward.
Oh, yeah.
You can't really catch someone from falling.
It's a nice, well, you can. I wouldn't recommend it. Not in this
Wouldn't
sport.
recommend.
No, especially if you're a smaller player.
You're just gonna get flattened.
Yeah,
But
it's going to hurt your ribs a lot.
oh yeah. Let's see if she uses a tee this time. Get that extra. I will say though, Gonzaga this year definitely very exciting to see, because I know we talked about pregame, kind of seeing where they're at after it being almost 10 months now, I think, since we last played them, and it's very exciting to see that their program is building quickly and
Yeah.
really well, and we already have a pretty competitive league, and it's nice to see that they're really working up the ranks and
Yeah.
getting there.
Well, I don't know about the women's team particularly, but I feel like rugby's becoming more of a popular sport. It's
Yeah.
gaining a little traction, you know?
I will say my bestie boo, Alona Marr, she really did numbers for women's teams. And the Olympics this year especially. We had a lot of players last year that came in. They were like, I don't know, we watched it, and you know,
It's a fun sport.
it's a fun sport, and they were like, we saw Alona Marr, and I was like, you know what, try it, and it's grown a lot.
Yeah.
And it's gained a lot of recognition, which as it should.
Sports Illustrated cover too, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yes, madam, yes, she was.
Gonna get a kick from Lizzie here.
Oh, she did come back in.
Yeah.
Good to know she's feeling better then. It's always a good sign.
Knock on by Gonzaga, it seems. Now, I think what happened there is the Gonzaga player tried to receive that, kind of just ended up smacking the ball out of the air, and because the smacked ball went forward, ends up being a little bit of a knock on. But it does. Huh? Who?
What? When, where, why, how?
Scrum. We got a scrum now. Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Big scrum. Gonna get a pass out to the back line here. Nice catch.
Ooh. A little bit of a high tackle as well.
Yeah, I'm noticing a lot less tackling and a lot more just stopping.
Yeah, a lot more. Let me give you a big fat hug and a smooch on the cheek.
Oh, yeah.
With my forehead.
Oh, yeah. It's...
But, honestly...
Oh,
okay.
back
so
10 call for Gonzaga. If Oregon State can make this turnover quick.
Yeah, if they can get them while they're unorganized, it'd be perfect.
Yeah. Seems like Gonzaga was able to organize a little bit, though, but we're going to see if they can, or if Oregon State can make some plays off that.
And there's Swags and Corinna, still in Corinna's first game, and Corinna's supporting well, first ruck, going well.
And that was a good move to play. You know, you just grab your teammate's jersey and you just push them. The second they go down, you're already on them. You know,
Yeah.
you got that defense right there.
It's a lot of that communication that we practice with. When your teammate, you better have someone with you, and you better be like, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you, go
Yeah.
down, go down.
Yeah.
You keep your feet until pretty much someone tells you to go down or someone forces you to go down.
Oh, yeah. There's just been, I mean, I've got a pretty bad track record of when I have that ball and there's 3 people on me. I don't listen very well, so I've had so many teammates just grab my jersey and yank me
They're just
down.
like,
They're just like, it's time.
you're done.
So
Just
like,
go
yeah,
down
you're
peacefully.
doing baby steps at this point, bud. You did a good run, made a nice 50 meters. It's time for you to stop.
It's good. The rest can be done later.
Yeah, they're like, it's your turn to retire.
One of the most devastating things I will say is getting a line break, but then either the 15 comes in and like makes a nice angle, and you look to offload, and there's No
No
one.
one.
And then you just get tackled, and they jackal it, and you're like,
Like, so what was all that effort?
yeah, I just gassed myself.
Yeah.
For
And now I got to go
nothing.
back that
Yep.
exact same distance.
Now I have to go back plus more, and then get in a flap. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks. Maybe next time I just won't, actually.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'm just gonna, you know what, give it to him. Here you go.
Maybe I'll drop a shoulder next time. Maybe that fullback's getting it.
Oh yeah. Another scrum.
Yeah.
Got a lot of slow ball games kind of in this one. Ball's out.
Ball's out for Gonzaga.
That's Waylon, the OSU alum, and then,
Oh, missed tackle there. Managed to wrap on that one.
yeah, a little bit of a spin, but,
Yeah.
oh, and took the knees.
Now, for tackling, you really do want to try and get that wrap, because even if you just get one leg, again, there's a person attached to your leg now. It's a lot harder to move, and especially if you have that teammate support. You've got one leg stuck in place. You got another person that's going to try and push you down. Like, it's, if you can get that wrap, you've secured a good amount.
Yeah. Oh, dropped a shoulder at the right time
Oh,
for
and she's
Gonzaga.
just spinning them off.
Yeah.
Need to drop a little lower.
Yeah. Maybe
If-
go,
I have a feeling your practices are going to be a little low tackling.
it's going to be, he's going to like stick a pole out and be
Oh.
like, all right, if you don't get low enough, there goes your head.
We like to do this drill where we have a piece of string and we attach it to a door, and you have to like duck underneath multiple times and then tackle.
Good. That sounds like a clothesline waiting to happen.
Oh, it is. I've
yeah.
done it multiple times.
Oh, yeah. But
you
it
know,
teaches you. It
does.
works.
It does.
If it works, it honestly works.
I go into tackles gulping at this rate.
Honestly, it gets to the point, especially with like the shorter players. It's like, I think honestly, I'm just gonna start biting ankles. Like, I'm just gonna start getting down there and just.
At a
like,
certain point, it's like, all right, you're short enough where in order to tackle you, I just need to grab your feet.
Yeah, and usually their feet are little,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I could
Small
just like,
target.
just like grab a big toe, honestly.
grab a big toe.
Yeah.
You known for grabbing big toes?
I wouldn't say I have a ton of personal experience. I usually I unfortunately have really bad luck with getting my hand stepped on.
Oh.
Yeah, so I try to stay away from
Boy,
the feet now.
I've had both my best and worst game. Well, no, I'd say it was just my best. I don't even think it was that bad. It was Seattle, Washington University,
Yeah.
or University of Washington, one or the
UW?
other. UW, I think.
Yeah.
I made some really good tackles, but I walked away with a black eye, and I went to shower that night, and it was just cleat marks across all of my midsection, my chest, my back, all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because every single tackle, I tackled the guy, and he's still trying to get away. I'm like, dude, I'm holding you. You're not going anywhere. But he's like just pushing against me. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you're just stabbing your cleats into me at this rate.
It's like at this point you're just making me part of the dirt.
Yeah.
Like,
At this point, you're just making it more personal.
yeah.
I
like,
wouldn't recommend this.
There's no difference between my flesh and the dirt, like, anymore.
Once again, flesh gets mentioned.
Flesh.
Rugby, the game of flesh.
The game of flesh. Oh,
Ooh, nice kick from
little
Lizzie.
kick, but doesn't seem like any. Oh. Oh,
What
that
are
was
we-
an interest. I don't really know how that just
Nice
happened.
fend.
Oh, another nice fend. And another. Wow.
Nice tackle by Corinna.
Oh,
Is that Corinna? No.
that's Corinna.
Which one?
That the 16, the one that
I
just
was
tackled.
completely.
Which, yeah, good tackle for Corinna, honestly. First game, she's playing well.
Yeah. Again, it's really hard to play in these first games. You're nervous.
It is. It definitely is kind of just hoping and praying.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good double tackle, though.
Can no longer see what's going on, but Oregon State now has the ball.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Now would be a good time to preferably kick it.
a kick would be very good, especially if the back line can communicate. Say, hey, start running once I kick this ball.
Just get it. Yeah, there you go.
There we
Lizzie
go.
had the idea.
And there, we
That
should
was-
see some wings running up the field right now, but it's looking like it's more of a jog, unfortunately.
Looks like people.
Oh.
Oh, she ate it. Oh.
Oh!
Oh. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
You know,
So,
they've got some larger players.
yeah, and Lizzie is also not a large player, I fear.
Yeah.
Um,
This is, B-side is seeming a little more personal this time around.
it really is.
And
Yeah.
I believe that is halftime. That would have been 30 minutes. The halftime score is 12 for Beavers, 19 for Gonzaga. We're going to see if the second half will change up that score. We'll be right back after this break.
It sounds like this.
Don't rush the process. Only 24 hours and damn. Go in.
Through moss, through trees, through cut up leaves, through dirt and soot and bloody jeans. It's just a dance floor, DJ. Can you turn me up? Everybody in the club, go and put your hands up.
We are sat.
I'm ready. Are you
Consider
ready?
me sat.
Consider me sat. I'm
Yeah.
ready for this game. Second half of the B-side game. Score is Beavers with 12, Gonzaga with 19, and we're going to see how it goes.
Switching sides again. We got some new roster coming in.
Yeah.
A few of the A-side players are now in on B-side, getting some more time if they didn't play that full 80. But we'll see how these roster changes go. See if it can bring some different qualities to it.
Well, and everyone's got their own specialty. Everyone's got their own strong suits. So ideally, you want to be able to put all your players in a position where they're thriving.
Of course.
Of course, it's rugby. Nothing's optimal.
Oh.
Well,
some of the 18 players, honestly, Q or Anna, I can't see what number she is right now. Number 2. Okay, so she's playing prop. And then Garrett.
oh, look at that. They're just all in a big hug and they're moving around.
Garrett is now playing 8-man, but number 22 came in also from A-side. Lizzie's also from A-side, but she's been in. Also a roster change of Annika out on the wing.
Lizzie seems to be complaining a little bit about the playtime. You know, a lot of people would be very grateful for your position, Lizzie, so be grateful.
Be grateful.
You know, there's people out there's, you know, starving kids begging for playtime.
There's people injured, Lizzie.
Yeah, come on.
Come on, Lizzie.
So inconsiderate.
Ugh. Yeah, we got a few coming in.
It's going to be a Gonzaga scrum here.
Elle over here on the wing is making some chit-chat with the line judge. So what a social butterfly.
Oh, look at
Oh.
that. What a social sport it is.
Social sport. Oh, Lizzie just.
I like talking to people as I tackle them.
Hey, how you doing?
Bam. I'm like, I'm so sorry about this.
I'm so sorry. Oh.
Nice kick.
And see, that was.
Gonna have to start running. Oh, Quinn's calling something.
Oh.
And the matching socks. Man.
I know.
Stripped out today.
He really is. That pink kit.
That pink kit.
I'm really jealous. I think if I wear pink, it almost blends in with my skin.
You know, yeah, maybe, honestly.
I'm a little too pale, I fear.
I have like a yellow shirt. I think I wore it once. Never again. I'm too pale. I really am.
Yeah, that was the one color growing up I
Ooh,
liked.
nice run onto
Couldn't wear
that.
it. Oh, and
Gonna
there's
keep going.
Q.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
There we go.
But no one's
Hopefully
with
she can get
the
some
ruck.
support there. There we are.
There we go.
Nice.
That was a good run, though. Yeah, keep it in. That was good. Keeping it in balance.
Oh, gotta
10
rotate
stuck.
a little bit. There we go.
10's a little.
Ball's out.
You know, and just spin on her butt a little.
Oh.
Oh. Hand, head, in. All right.
All right. Well, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Oh. Oh. I think
believe
even
that was a knock on.
I think even Lizzie was a little confused by
I think everyone's a little
that
confused
pass.
right now.
It's a little bit of a here you go.
Yeah. Upsy daisies. Oh.
Oh.
Got a little dance break there.
Ooh. Look at those locks hitting that. Let's see where we're at. That is a little bit of a tradition, is count to 3 and everyone yells big scrum with every scrum. Used to bark, not allowed to bark anymore.
What? Why not?
Yeah, because UW are the Huskies, and so every time we'd bark, they found it offensive.
That sounds like a lame excuse. From my
Yeah.
humble commentator opinion, that's a lame excuse.
It was lame, so we aren't allowed to bark anymore.
Oh, that was a
Okay.
nice switch.
Lizzie just got dragged a good 3 meters, but you know what? Tackle went. And
Tackle went.
Jackal.
And she held on. That's what matters.
Exactly.
Oregon
That's some-
State is. Oh, yep. We got to.
I'll give it to her. That was some grip strength.
That was some grip.
Being dragged.
Is not a fun experience.
No.
No.
It's a lot of turf burn
It
in a lot of
is.
places.
Oh, and it's completely dry right now. So there's no like, oh, it's wet, so you can slide. Nope. That's
Dry-
just skin gone.
Friction. It's straight friction.
I'm sure you've had this too, but I've had like my entire shin just sanded away. No
Oh,
more.
yeah.
So much fun.
It's the knees. Oh, the knees.
The knees. You would know about knee injuries, wouldn't you?
Unfortunately, I am well acquainted. Oh, and kind of stood still and almost waited to be hit.
Yeah.
Won't lie.
That happens when you're nervous.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to do is face backwards.
Yeah.
You turn your back to the other team and you're
Good
kind of
way to
asking
hurt
for
yourself.
it. Yeah. Honestly, Elle was pretty nice. Elle went in pretty kind with that. But another scrum.
Here we go.
We'll see. Ball's almost out. Oh,
See, Gonzaga had some good power there, but it's still going to be Oregon State's ball.
Yeah.
They're running up the wing here.
trying to stay in.
Ball's still in, I believe.
Well, now
what?
you're out. Wait.
I don't. I don't think you can go out of bounds to throw it
I
back
think
in.
she kind of went a little bit on her tippy toes in a little circle, like a ballerina almost, and whipped it out.
That's what her passion is. Anyway.
We're gonna have a Gonzaga line out. And we'll see Carolyn.
We
this
just have
time,
someone
just
hanging
holding
from her.
on. That's Carolyn, all right. And 10's gonna
Nice kick. Hopefully
it.
that fullback can be there to receive that. Quinn seems happy that there's no penalties in it.
Yeah.
Nice,
And-
nice.
Good broken. That's Eloise.
Yeah, and she's got the
Also
support
brand
there
new
too.
this year.
It's all right, it's all right.
It's backwards still. That flanker was just right there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It happens. You miss the pass, you miss the catch, you turn around to grab the ball, you look up, and it's too late.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a little confused why that 8-man was so far back there.
Yeah, I don't know
but
why you're back there.
I don't either.
There we go. Got to bring it back to the high tackle where Quinn is. Nice kick, conveniently to the place.
Quinn didn't even flinch.
He never does.
Never. I don't think that man's scared of anything.
I don't. Well, no. Actually, you're right. I take it
Yeah.
back. I don't think. Oh,
Uh-oh.
that happens.
Knock.
Hey, we've all been there, all right? Especially when that ball's wet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. When it jams a finger in the cold. Or when you can't feel your hands.
Oh, honestly, when you can't feel your hands, it's not bad until after the game.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks because you can't catch the ball
Yeah.
very well because you can't feel your hands. But then after the game, you start like getting the feeling in your hands back. You're like, oh, that's every finger jammed,
everyone.
crushed.
My favorite thing to do when it's cold out is stick my fingers in my armpits. Honestly,
That's very real.
it works so well.
When I was little, I didn't realize that hack existed. I'd just stick my hand in my mouth.
Why was that?
It's warm. But, armpit,
But then
I
it's
learned,
wet.
works so much better. Don't.
All right.
There was no logic behind
I'm-
young me.
So, like, sticking your hands in your mouth, smacking your head on a couch. Character. Honestly. Oh, dominant ruck right there.
It's just lots of big hits in this game.
Lizzie again. She seems to be in almost every one of these takedowns.
Yeah, Lizzie seems to be taking this game very seriously.
Is that Abby?
Abby right there. That was a nice tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Slowed down a big player there, too.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. They get a lot of momentum.
Yeah. It's also hard because their quads are so strong.
I actually have heard Abby literally complaining about that. Literally saying it's hard to tackle them because their quads are so big that I
Yes.
can't fully get a wrap.
You can't wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, and it looks like their 8-man's going to take it.
Carolyn's going in.
Carolyn.
Oh! Oh!
And Carolyn
Big
got
hit
right
there.
back up.
Yep, Carolyn's up. Everyone's up.
Everyone's good.
Big hit. Very big hit.
Big hit there.
Very big hit.
It looks like they're going to do the 5-meter scrum.
And, you know, props to Carolyn for that because that ball was in the try zone. And then because of that hit, now
Yeah.
it's a contested scrum.
Really took one for the team, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
And got right back up and is fine. So,
Big scrum here. We're going to hope that Oregon State can get that ball out. And ideally, you'd want them to kick it. Those wings and fullback hopefully going to run up and receive that ball just to provide some space to do plays. It's hard to do plays in that try zone. You know, one error and it's just a try on the other team.
yeah, I will say we do practice these a lot.
There we go.
Yep.
It's a good thing to practice.
It is, because it happens more. And there, you know what?
Oh, and that's
there
good.
There it goes.
That's good.
Which actually, number 22 is also an OSU alum.
Oh, wow.
Also named Sydney. We got a lot of Sydneys. But their nickname is Metal. But
Interesting.
so there's a fair amount of OSU alums playing right now. But that was smart by Lizzie. It looks
Nice
straight to
grab.
their
There we
lock.
go.
Pretty quick, though, by Garrett. Quick reaction time.
Yeah.
Looks like they're 10. Oh,
They're going to try and pass it to their back lines. Carolyn.
Same combo.
And you have to give a lot of props to Carolyn. Not a very big person, but able to stop those large people well.
Yeah. Not releasing.
Oregon
it looks
State
like.
needs to. Oh, Oregon State's ball. It is actually. I'm Yoda now, evidently.
Yoda.
Oregon State's ball. It is. Nice run here.
There's Eloise. She also plays on A side, so she's getting some extra minutes with a great
Yeah.
run.
It's good practice. It really is.
Yeah.
There we go. It's okay. That might be a knock on
gonna be a
right there.
knock.
Yeah. Oh.
Number 7, Addison, also grad student, brand new.
You guys got a lot of grad students.
Yeah, actually a fair amount this year, but been playing for about I want to say 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
So this is also their debut game. We got a lot of debut games today, which is huge, especially at home. But
got some discussion going on here between the teams and Quinn. It seems like we've been doing some stuff that Quinn's not super happy with, particularly probably regarding scrums. Quinn likes the scrums very particular.
yeah, he has to reset them a few times.
He does. And Quinn knows a thing or two about rugby injuries, so he's going to do his best to really make sure this stays safe.
Yeah, which I appreciate as coming from a sir.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes sirs let a lot of things go that
I've
cause
had
some
a
issues.
lot of sirs, like broken noses, broken bones on the field. They're like, I didn't see anything. I can't call anything. I'm like, okay, so.
It's like, so I'm gushing blood.
Yeah.
And clearly their elbow has my blood
Hey,
on it, so.
their forehead has an imprint of my nose.
Yeah.
Maybe something happened.
Just maybe. And Lizzie is going to let it go out and go to touch.
All right.
We're going to have another line out.
You can kind of see that these Gonzaga players are starting to get a little tired of all this running back and forth for lineouts and such.
Yeah. It's starting to get into the part of the field that I can't see.
Oh, it is.
So we're going to go off of vibes here, I guess.
You know, vibes are immaculate.
Vibes are immaculate. Still sunny, which is all I really care about.
Is that in a good way or a bad way? Because, I mean, one part, sun, you know, love to photosynthesize, and the other part, I feel like you're already burning.
You know, I think you are covering the sun, so like your shadow is
Oh,
covering
you know
me.
me.
Oh no, you can go back.
Okay. Yeah. No.
My
Apparently
mom
my
would
head's
appreciate
not
it.
big enough, actually, to cover all
Your-
of you. So
Your head's only big enough in some contexts.
gotcha.
Not this one, I guess,
Oh,
but
unfortunate.
unfortunate. What? We might be going
And
scrum.
now scrum. All right.
All right.
This is, again, can't see what's going on from this side of the field. They are on the opposite corner from us. Something's happening.
Looks like we're gonna. Oh, I can hear Quinn from here.
Oh, he's got a booming voice.
He does have a booming voice.
I think that was an uncontested scrum. I think that's what we resulted to. Oh, interesting plays here.
Looks like
Quinn
there's
is on the
another
ground somehow.
stoppage.
Quinn ended up on the ground. That's saying something. That is not an easy man to take to the ground.
No, not at all.
Looks like it's going to be another scrum. We're going to see here, I believe the last one was uncontested, but we're going to see here if that's true or not. Uncontested scrum basically means, well, Amelia, do you want to go ahead and take us through what an uncontested scrum is?
I'm gonna be honest. I have never been a forward, and I know the basis. But if we're going into details, go for it.
Okay. I'll go ahead and walk us through. So a normal scrum, what we've been seeing in A side and for the majority of B side, that's called a contested scrum. Both teams are pushing, and both teams are just trying to get the ball. But that happens to result in a lot of penalties and injuries, especially on these B side matches. So what people will often do, sirs especially, oh, there's a ladybug on the screen. Sorry. What oftentimes sirs will do is they'll call for an uncontested scrum. Same thing, going to be in the same position, same amount of players, but this time instead of pushing, you're just going to kind of squat there.
You're just kind of holding it.
Yeah,
basically.
arguably a little bit worse because it's kind of hard to hold that position, but you're not as likely to get injured. So
Yeah, they usually do it if the first scrum didn't go how they wanted it.
Oregon State's ball now.
Oh,
Oh, unfortunate. Drop that
Lost
ball.
it.
Carolyn's just going to dogpile on top of that.
oh.
Oh, hey, what are we doing now?
That was another rule change last year, was how rucks are done. Rucks used to be a lot less controlled, but that ended up in like gator rolling. It
Yeah.
ended up in a lot of really unsafe things. So now you have to only come from the front, and you can't spin them. You
Oh,
can't
bear
pull.
hug tackle happening here.
I'm glad you can see that far, honestly.
It was kind of isolated by its own. There was no one
No
blocking
flesh
it.
walls?
Yeah, no flesh walls.
Right. Oh, and I can't tell who that is.
Oh, is Oregon State going to be able to get this
Oh, it's
tackle? Not
Corinna.
quite.
Got just low
Big
enough.
hit,
That
able
was
to get him
good.
down. Nice.
Yeah, that's the strat with the bigger players, is get as low as possible.
Oh, yeah. I heard a very inspirational quote from one of the men's forwards one time. Doesn't matter how big they are, their ankles are always the same size.
Oh, yeah.
And I live by those rules these days.
And you should.
Yeah.
And usually, like, if you can grab if quads are too big to grab, go for the calves.
Yeah, go for the knees.
Yeah. Just not on me.
No, your knees are off limits.
My knees should
Ever
just-
since the incident.
the incident. Oh, and that is also one of our newer players.
Number 11.
Yeah. Freshman. And same thing, first league home game ever.
Nice.
Carolyn again.
Big hits happening. Really big hits.
Yeah,
Legs have got to be getting sore.
Yeah. Gonzaga seems to have a pretty powerful forward pack as well,
Oh, yeah.
with a lot of just drive and, like, honestly just size in general. And so it is good to see OSU kind of adjusting and getting lower on those tackles.
It is. And honestly, it's a good lesson for them anyway. It's something you want to continue even on smaller players.
Yeah,
So it's a good teaching moment.
it is. I will say I was surprised when I first started rugby how much you use your neck in a tackle.
Oh.
Like, that's why...
It's surprising.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not, most people are like, oh, yeah, you want to avoid, using neck muscles because, granted, you don't want to hurt your neck.
Yeah.
No, you're going to use it.
No.
You want to train that.
That's why a lot of the pros, like, don't have a neck.
No,
it's
I was
just
going to
like
say,
head,
if you,
shoulders, because
if
they're
you
huge.
really look at, like, professional rugby players, it's just I don't know how to describe it besides it, like, their shoulder muscles blend with their neck muscles, and you've got a triangle on the top.
Yeah, like their traps are basically their neck.
Yeah.
And it's like the policeman from Cloudy with a Chance at Meatballs.
Oh, yeah, Officer Earl.
Yeah, Officer Earl.
Flint Lockwood.
Oh,
And we're seeing some Flint Lockwood running here right now.
Yeah, that's Metal, our alum, as well. And Carolyn.
Tackled
takes
by
Metal.
Carolyn.
Oh, and
Carolyn
Carolyn's
seems to be
stuck under the rug.
stuck.
Oh, got out. Wiggled their way out of there.
Another
And
tackle by Carolyn.
again.
Carolyn's on fire.
Yeah. Carolyn really comes in, does whatever they want in the most strategic way.
Oh, yeah. I don't think anyone's questioning.
No. Oh, I don't think Q knew that player did not have the ball anymore.
I've been noticing that a little bit with this B side. I think people are closing their eyes.
I was going to say, they tend to get scared, close their eyes, and it's over.
And, you know, it's understandable. Sometimes, especially when you're in the bottom of that ruck, it's scary.
Yeah.
I'd be closing my eyes, too.
Oh, yeah. Some
There's
of the bigger players.
There's 3 larger men above me. I'm scared.
No, I'm going to sit there, cover my head, and just hope.
I'm going to trust that Ben Nord is going to save me or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Especially if I'm about to hit a forward, I'll line up for it, and the second I take contact, I don't need to see what happens next.
No.
I'll feel it.
I'll know tomorrow.
I'll know tomorrow. I'll know exactly what happened tomorrow. I don't need to see it, too.
I've already been traumatized once. I don't need the visual, too.
No.
I think we got a line out here as far away from us as possible, really.
Yeah, really, we haven't had much on this side.
No, it's been a very, for Oregon State, left side heavy game. For Gonzaga right side.
Oh, she took a little bit of a knee to grab that one. It was a little bit of a lunge.
Looks like we're getting some trade-offs here. Nice tackles by Oregon State. We are doing a good job, really. What is happening?
I didn't keep her feet, but I guess Quinn let it go.
There we go. Nice tackle there. And I had to give it to Gonzaga. They're quick on that defense for those rucks.
Yeah, their rucks, they commit a lot of ruckers too, which is pretty unusual if it's uncontested. That 10 is
Better
really
safe than
loving
sorry,
the
I
lineouts.
suppose.
Oh, he's taking it back to the scrum.
Oh. Leave it to Quinn to keep the game interesting.
Scrum, just kidding. Penalty.
Ah. Me when I lied.
Me when I lied to your faces.
It's going to be a tap and go, I believe.
Yeah.
Nice momentum here.
Yeah.
And good positioning on that tackle.
Wow.
Nice. That's a prime example of what you want to do.
Yeah. Garrett stopped that momentum, kept their leg drive, and just easy.
It's a hard art, you know. You want to have both your legs on the ground when they hit you, but you want to keep your legs going at the same time. There's so many different things to take into account, and it's you really have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Oh. Nice wrap on that leg and a good takedown by number 3.
That was good. Looks like that was Maddie. Also plays A side.
Get low, bring them down. Yeah, I think Oregon State's starting to adapt to this play style by Gonzaga.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's turning into more of a wall.
It is.
They're starting to come up more
And look at
fluently.
that. Turn your back, and you're immediately on the ground. And Oregon State's going to use that.
Oh.
Up.
Gonzaga did just drive their own player's head into the
They
ground.
did.
Interesting.
That was a own team tackle.
Yeah, that was I fear their own fault.
All right.
Oh, and
breakthrough by their number 15 for Gonzaga. Quinn's outrunning.
Quinn, go! And wow, Carolyn almost did
touchdown.
it again. Touchdown.
Well, touched down.
Oh, I thought you said touchdown.
No,
I
no,
was
no,
like,
no. We don't like
oh,
football.
We don't like football here.
No. Rugby's way better.
Rugby's 10 times better.
We don't need 80 players on the side of the field.
All right. It looks their 10's kicking. She using a T this time? Yeah.
Is that one of the Oregon State alum?
No. That is not.
Ah.
She's got a boot on her, though.
Oh, we're about to see it.
Yeah.
Even if this ball doesn't go through that goalpost, you're going to see this ball is going to go far.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look
Yep.
at that. Beautiful kick.
That didn't go through, though.
Still pretty.
Still pretty. Still floated well.
It did.
And Gonzaga's going to get the ball back.
You're going to see Quinn writing his little notebook over there. He's just keeping track of the score, keeping track of the penalties and such. Look at the time. 7 minutes is what he's saying. 7 minutes left in the game. It's 12-24. Gonzaga B-side is up. But 7 minutes is a long time.
7 minutes. We'll see if OSU would be able
Yeah.
to get those 12 back in that time. I think if they really redline it for the next 7 minutes.
I think so. I think if you really push the pedal to the metal, they might be able to score some. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. There's Quinn making sure they're not offsides, like we were talking about very early with that back foot. But
Drop that ball, but that's okay. Gonna
Went
bring it in,
backwards.
and 23 is gonna bring him down. Nice.
that is Cassie, the starting 15 for A side. This looks like she's also in now, getting some
Looks like
time.
this is gonna be a kick.
Man,
I
she's
straight
loving
up.
that sideline right now.
She is. It's, you know, they've been starting to fall behind on those rucks, so you
Yeah.
really start doing some more work with those lineouts and those scrums.
And honestly, it's smart. The time doesn't stop.
No, it's not. You can just delay for time if you wanted.
Yep. And those kicks really are having to organize the lineouts and everything.
Yeah. One of the things you have to learn the quickest in rugby is that that clock does not stop.
Yeah.
Halftime and sometimes injuries.
Yeah.
Those are the only things that will ever stop that clock. But if you're going for a scrum,
Wow! That chip kick. with
Nice
Carolyn.
catch from Carolyn. She's going to be able to turn that around. Get some straight.
Whoa! Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't dive in like that.
I was going to say, you have to be able to stand back up. You can't just
Yeah.
crush them.
You don't get to, yeah.
I've been noticing it's kind of a strategy for the Gonzaga B-side, which would be smart if not for the fact that it's
If it
against
was
the rules.
legal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Take a nose dive in there. I think we'd all do it if you could.
Yeah.
See that, like she kept her feet on that one, which
Yeah.
is, but did not release. Gonzaga's gonna get the ball back. Ooh, that was a big contact, and she took that like a champ.
Yeah. Gonzaga is kind of going through this meat grinder approach. Just throw as many people at the ball as you can. Just try and get as much feet or as many meters as you can.
As much feet.
You know, grammars isn't my strong suit.
And that's okay. Me either. That's why I'm not an English major.
You know, I can tell.
Is that a parrot? Another scrum.
Whether it's a delay for time or what it was.
I don't actually know. Again, can't see that far.
Cannot. I wish I had binoculars. You know, those like old people binoculars that you used to like watch
The
like
ones
horse
that you
races. The
hold.
one that have like a little like a stick on them. And you're just like, yes.
That like all of like the really rich people in the movies use.
Yeah.
And they have
Need
like
one
that
of those.
Polish accent. Oh. That was a good.
Nice tackle there.
Good bite. That was Chloe. Also plays A side usually.
Really just seeing some good tackles from Oregon State here.
Yeah.
Even if they don't win this game, it's just amazing tackle practice.
Yeah. It's been good tackle practice on getting low and really making sure the technique is clean.
Yeah, getting low, lots of larger players, so it's harder to tackle them too.
Yeah.
They plant their feet and they're sturdy. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm lifting a object welded to the ground right now.
Oh, completely. That's when you just kind of hope your body mass and your like power is enough to at least like
I feel
hold
like
on.
when if I ever end up tackling a larger person, I'll lift a little bit and I test it and I'm like, okay, this is gonna take all of it. And I readjust my feet a little bit and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna deadlift this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't kick it out of the bounds is what Quinn is saying.
It's going right to their 8-man. Broke the line almost.
Bring it
Q's
down,
holding
there we
on
go.
though.
Yeah.
Q held on.
Nice tackle there.
The stance that you have to have in a ruck is always so humbling.
It's just the general body positioning relative to other people.
Yeah.
Extremely humbling.
Yeah.
Whether you're very secure or very insecure about anything, it does not matter. You're in that ruck. There's 5 other people there too.
Yeah. There's been a few times where, like, I'll be on the ground and someone will be rucking over, and you're just like having a conversation with them.
Oh yeah.
It's long enough that you can just like
You can just talk to
low-key chat. Oh.
So how have you been lately? You know?
It's like, so how you feeling?
Yeah. How are you liking this game?
And then you get up and do it again. And OSU's gonna have to get back 10.
High tackle.
Yeah.
OSU was doing really good with those low tackles, and now it's just kind of falling apart. Getting
Yeah,
tired, getting sloppy.
Last 5 minutes of the game, and it just everyone feels it. Oh.
What is?
Can't tell where the ball is.
I'm assuming it's in that
In
blob.
that blob. Someone in that blob obviously has
Not quite
it.
a maul, but it's kind of trying to be one.
Yeah. Oh, Garrett now. Well,
That was
they're like fighting over
Yeah,
it.
that was a drag from the shirt up above the shoulders. So
Yeah. Oh. A little bit of a late hit there.
we're seeing some interesting plays here.
Yeah.
For sure. It's definitely getting later in the game. People are tired. People are sloppy, and it's confusing.
Yeah, it's definitely starting to get to the point where I'm going to throw my body.
I'm
just
gonna be in this.
Yeah.
Don't know how, but I will.
Don't know how, but some sort of appendage will be.
Yeah. You know, hey, we've all been there. Ankle in the ruck, nothing else.
Yeah. When your foot gets stuck under
Oh
someone.
yeah, and you can't move, so you just gotta like you lay there. You're
You
like,
just-
I'm not in the way.
You have to like show the sir you're trying to roll away but can't. So
Yeah.
you're like flopping around like a little dead fish.
Fish on land. You're just. I'm trying. I swear.
I swear I'm trying.
I've had sirs call me out on that one before. They're like, oh, you weren't trying to roll away. I'm like, hey, 2 people, twice my size, were on top of me.
I'm not moving.
Yeah. Respectfully, my legs are not that strong.
Yeah.
I can't do a leg extension of 700 pounds.
Also, what do you want me to do? Claw my way out of there?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Just push them.
Yeah. Looks like Gonzaga's getting pretty close.
Gonzaga is getting pretty close here. They can still have the ball. Oregon State's kind of swarming up here, but, you know, Gonzaga's been more of a forward-heavy team so far, so
Yeah, it seems like
We're
a
gonna
lot of their
see if
backs
they're going
could play
to run
either.
it through their lines. There it
Oh.
goes. Nice
See,
hit there.
And with OSU's defense, if you look, there's a huge offload right now.
Oh, yeah. They kind of got to reorganize this to make sure.
Also not offload, fully. Overload. Oh, and
Nice
looks
tackle.
like, yeah, they
just in
held him
time.
up.
Oh,
another one maybe? If they can
are they?
hold
I
it
believe
up.
they're trying to hold her up.
Yeah.
I don't think it was successful.
Oh, ball's out. Ooh.
Ooh.
That was clean, though.
That looked like it was shoulder-to-shoulder contact.
Yeah, I will say that Gonzaga's girl was kind of falling over.
Yeah, she kind of was leaning into that.
Also, Molly, who hit her on OSU, is about 6'2". So
Hey, you know,
kudos to her for getting as low as she does.
yeah.
That's game.
And that is game. Final score is 24 to Gonzaga, 12 to Beavers. It was a beautiful game and beautiful day to play rugby.
It really was.
All right, we're going to come back with a few more messages after this break.
It sounds like this.
Don't rush the process. Only 24 hours and damn, going.
Through moss, through trees, through cut up leaves, through dirt and soot and bloody jeans. It's just a dance floor, DJ. Can you turn me up? Everybody in the club, go and put your hands up.
We just finished up our B-side game, Oregon State versus Gonzaga. The A-side score was 84-7. Beavs were up, that was a win. B-side score was 12-24. Gonzaga up, that was a loss. We're going to take a little second over here, toss you over to Brady's for a little field side interview.
Thank you, guys. I'm here joined with Coach Grace. Thank you for joining us. Like we said, this was a lot closer of a match. Although you guys lost, what did you like seeing from the players?
Yeah, so with this being closer of a match, Gonzaga only came with about 10 of their regular development players, so they were bringing a lot from their own coaching staff, from clubs around the area. So it was really great to see our brand new players playing people with, decades of experience and hitting people who are much bigger than they were the entire time. They played a really good match against some really experienced players, which I don't think they were expecting.
Awesome. What would you have liked to see from them to kind of not play better, but play better?
Yeah, I think something we can always work on. Women in general don't get a lot of contact sports, so what happens when we get new players is contact is really scary when we first start. So I think they're doing a lot better at getting more confident in their tackling, but that's something we're always going to be working on with them.
Awesome. Final question. What's so special about this group of players?
Yeah, there's a lot special about this group of players. We've been building up since COVID, like most rugby teams, but in these last couple years, they've been working so hard to build from, like a practice where they'd have maybe 10 people to practices where we're fielding 30, 40 people. And they're just in this last year, they've gotten so much closer. The team culture is so good, and you can see them always bringing each other up.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thanks. Well, we're going to start off our game analysis here. So to start, Amelia, what was your favorite part of that B-side game?
Honestly, that B-side game is kind of what Grace said. We had a lot of mixture of players that were playing for each team, and it was really cool to see some newer players get a lot more experience with experienced players and really kind of see how it's played, see different techniques, especially between different age groups, because it's obviously changed a lot. It's a sport that's always changing, and I was honestly really proud of them, especially with the newer players. We had a lot of debut players, and they all came out, and they all did what they wanted to be doing, and they did what they've been practicing, and it was really impressive to watch it kind of translate over from practice to the game, because it ended, even though it was still a loss, it was a huge developmental game for our team.
Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, some of those tackles were down at the ankles, down at the knees. It was amazing practice for tackles. And like you were saying, it's a large age range for this game, and just seeing people tackling out of their weight class, out of their experience class, it was amazing to see. What do you think about A-side game?
A-side, I am obviously super proud of them as well. I think they came into it really wanting this game and really wanting to go into break 2-0. And they kind of came out, not with a chip on their shoulder, but like definitely this season we have a very deep bench. We have a lot of players that we can utilize really well that can play a lot of different positions, and you really saw it in A-side. And they played hard. They kicked, which we've been practicing a lot just throughout practice, and they actually utilized it, and it was cool to see it work multiple times, whether it was a grubber or a chip kick. Also just getting lower on tackles, good tackle assist, double tackle, all of it.
Yeah.
You could really see the things that we've been doing in practice really translate over to game speed, and it was really exciting to see, and obviously the score reflected it, and I'm super proud of them.
I'd have to agree. I mean, the score speaks for itself, I think. It was phenomenal watching that. Really quick plays, amazing tackles, amazing, quick thinking, too. Nice grubbers, nice chips, and really good hands just all throughout. I have to give compliments to the entire team. It was well done.
Yeah, it was very well done. I'm very happy for it.
Yeah. Well, make sure you guys all join for the next rugby game. It will be February 7th at Central Washington. Big shout out to everyone that made this broadcast possible, including both the rugby teams, Dixon Recreation Center, and of course everyone that is in and around this booth with me, including all the audio, visual people, the engineers, the director. Big thank you to everyone. And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, yes. This is the last broadcast of this term, but make sure you join back winter term. As the next broadcast will be Lynn Benton basketball, January 17th. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you again soon.